You need to save your soul, you know. You know what God?
Me save already. I'm a Pentecostal, my brother. I'm a Pentecostal.
Oh yeah, Pentecostal.
I'm baptized in Jesus' name.
You know what I'm
baptized. I am baptized in Jesus' name.
Oh yes, I
tell too much lie, Caution.
Caution.
I don't tell too much lie.
Caution, let's go for your platform, go talk about Jesus Christ. Cause you know me could come out by goodness
in a Pentecostal church.
You know me could stop talk about the goodness with Andrew do. So go on by your platform, go talk about Jesus Christ.
Baptized in Jesus' name,
Andrew, I look at Jesus right now.
Andrew walk in the footsteps. Andrew walk in the footsteps of Jesus.
The Caution. Which one is Jesus? The white one or the one Jesus?
Yeah. Ask about the Bible. Why not the Bible? No one asks.
People, in the system, man, is a distraction in company life. If it distract me.
Yes.
Caution out of the box in a certain purpose over here. Bring him out of the box. Bring him out of the box.
Caution, to the Christian.
Take him out of the box, man.
We are talking politics, Caution. Politics, Caution.
Let me take him out.
Okay.
Now we invite you Saturday, Caution, we invite you Saturday. Something about him, man. Something about him. Truth about him.
A distraction, the man come with, you know.
Yes.
You know how we talk about the goodness of our Prime Minister, though. He come with the distraction when we talk about Jesus Christ.
Because you know about Jesus and Bible.
And that's me, I say. Which part of him baptized? The wicked.
If not a master named Moses.
Oh, yeah.
No, I said that boy. Him forced me here with the argument about the houses, them, you know. Him.
No, them are not
him a Christian. You still got to see him out, man.
If Caution a Christian, near the Pope. See him with something better.
Both in God church. Which church?
Hey, Caution.
I never seen no 2 foot lie, so.
Me I tell you, man.
Never. The man take lie for me never know if he say take lie for. Somebody tell me man talk so me I wonder if a Jamaican live or somewhere else. Cause we don't know where him get film news them from.
Hey, he just do it for the fun, you know. If believe you me, he just do it for the fun of it.
There's a $3,700 for a pound of cabbage.
Me I tell you. Hey.
The cabbage man.
And even that, a foreign cabbage and a local cabbage. A foreign cabbage. A foreign cabbage you have for the, you know.
Come back to that box cabbage, man.
And you see how them did a go on about food price. And me hear you ask him say, you know, sister tomato that should right question again, you know. If him not gonna help them name it. Right question.
You say we have to eat the cabbage.
You see my straight away from the argument. You know what join me in the argument. You know what join me. Cause every day I come on the platform I beat Prime Minister about people hungry and this and that. I mean I hear none of them are jacked down and dead. I not hear nobody are jacked down and dead for starvation. But you're still people hungry. Eh?
But look here, you know,
you're still people hungry.
In the 90s coming up, when people go shop, you could have get soap, they would have tie out the soap in a bag. You notice them stuff they cut out, you know.
Yeah.
Them used to sell all the ketchup, bro. Okay, I know that them used to sell a little bit of ketchup where you could have buy one use and then
every little thing you used to can get it certain way.
Well,
You know, you
them
say,
some-
I feel them party make quarter bread start sell. You know, here. I feel them party make certain things go in a bag to sell. In the 90s, when I was one of the dreadful days in Jamaica, how much people lose their work, much factory shut down in the 90s.
Even when you go downtown, you see them tie out the soap. No, when you go downtown, it's a pack of soap, pack of this, pack of that. Right? So which one more seem developed? Which one more developed?
Right, them.
My mother
Hey,
look down.
them sister Angela got cut 12 ribbon every week. Them jump on the house in fast.
And them can't stop it, you know, based on the Prime Minister, so them can't stop it.
12 hours for a week, the man got cut. So the man joke. Some man named Builder. Sometimes I say, boy. Sometimes I wonder if Andrew are Chinese. What about that?
Remember, I said pressure bus pipe.
And the man say, boy, oh, Andrew have so much ministry. Him sleep. And now the man say him have 2 women, him have 3 women.
Oh, they got a woman out, Ross.
Yo, them to buy everything. The man
Yo, me I tell you, man.
the man can't walk.
Oh, you need they're not the way I pay him for.
Yeah, they're not. They don't want. I promise. Sometimes, yo, the man say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Nobody can keep up with him. All the minister them eat the man and say, why not? The man work so much for.
Hey, but you know, say some of the wickedest set of people, you know, especially in a foreign country, you know, who have support the PNP, never went back into Jamaica, you know, never. Hey, me I talk to a youth the other day and him tell me, say, I have 12 years, you know, go Jamaica, but yet him rile up against the government. And me say, my youth, me say, if you go a Clarina now, you go on the highway, you go to a 4 pass, you last. Me say, no, if you shut up, I don't start nothing, man. You go to Jamaica for 12 years. I mean, I tell you we are going down there. But at Jamaica, I choose me to come to Jamaica. But at Jamaica 4 or 5 times a year. I see the improvement.
Come on, man.
Me and my cousin, I can't tell them, say, my youth, things are going to Jamaica. Jamaica is not what we lived for 12 years ago.
Bossy,
You'll be surprised.
Bossy, me see factory lockdown when me I got primary school. Me a 35-year-old. Me see factory lockdown when me I got primary school. Walk not back. See me? Me see place where me I build where house. Plaza when me I got school. And 1 year they finish them in a since Angeles win. I mean I make up story.
I true you talk, man. I true brethren. True. Hey, my first house, me build at Jamaica, you know. The second one, because me build for my grandmother, the great grandmother, my sister lived there. The second one, me built for my mother. See? In 1997, when PNP in a power, no work now going down at South Manchester. Yo, me never even draw the plan for those. So the man them start the foundation and start work. You say me go out there, pay big up me get. Because nothing that go on for the youth them down there. No work. You hear me I say? No work. And me telling them is that JLP support and them a PNP, you know. And I say, you see it? You say, you see it? Well, you may have to tell her once, my youth. If you have voted PNP, you're going to have serious trouble. A 3-4 fucking job you have now, you don't even have hand to work. No hand to work. That never happened to them before. I'm going to put another PNP back in power. My youth, who know going to suffer like a dog. Trust me, going to suffer like a dog.
Yeah, but you see this. We are see workers that get imported in the country. You ever see nothing like that?
Sure. Hey. Me build a fence up, me build a concrete fence. And none of the youth them in the neighborhood who are mason and carpenter who build my house. Me can't get them to build a fence because they all gonna St. Elizabeth and build a house. Can you imagine that? This is the man who just almost finished doing my house, you know. I know me need to do the fence around it and they can't help me. Because they are too much work going on. And these are PNP supporter, you know.
Yo, we have place are open up in Jamaica. We so have to start do like what Trinidad and the other country they used to do. Some see thing I go.
What is that woman? I'm going to learn about this. I should be all about like that.
But one thing still we have to give the PNP them credit. Them can manufacture some outrage when we have to out. But we have to stop out them nonsense around them and talk about. Anytime they come with them outrage, we have to stop. Stop
Yeah.
them.
But you have undecided voters where I believe this scenario,
Yeah.
even the labor right them too.
No, man,
Yeah.
you know, undecided voters hungry in America, man.
I all in America, man. A truth, man.
In a
A truth.
Jamaica, who can bring out the votes, right? I saw Jamaica politics different. Nobody know undecided in Jamaica, so you have to know where voters are and bring them out. Because in a Jamaica, you have to hold a person who is not dieharded or who not politics. You have to hold them on and carry them on. So that's why the groundwork is important. That's why PJ could have win so much. Because we did disorganize and we did have internal civil war going. So this idea say we have to go all people undecided voters and we have to run behind the PNP and follow up them nonsense. We have to cut that out and just know that we have to organize on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, undecided voters.
Yeah, man. Even me I talk to my uncle, He left Jamaica 1970, March 31st, 1972, sorry. March 31st, 1972, right? And he tell me, say, when he left Jamaica, Michael Man election. I say, no, you're wrong. When you left Jamaica election, there was campaigning. You never did it when election run. But in my continent, Brogard 14 bamboo. I say 29 or 20 much bamboo. I say, yo, come on, man, type of foolishness. You haven't really gone back to Jamaica. You gone to Jamaica, but you know, see where you go on. You listen to too much propaganda news media, brethren. And Mr. Outline, man, I tell him all things. We are going to Jamaica, he just shut up. I say, yeah, hold that. At that, me I tell you we are going to Jamaica. Me follow the politics more than you. So me I go, him older than me still. Me say, me I follow the politics. And me I tell you we are going to Jamaica. So think it about the bank book with the man, because me are more bank book than broker. I'm not rich. I mean, I have no money.
Yeah.
Me are more bank book than broker. I mean, I have no money. You see me I say? Me know millions of dollars, but what you will come me get me know if you use it.
But
You see me I say?
only an ignorant person
Yeah, man.
when I take up 28 bank accounts and run with it as and I use it as a political point. Because
Yeah,
even if the prime minister had 28 bank accounts, and I'm not saying he doesn't. Even if he had 28 bank accounts, nothing is illegal about owning that much bank account. So only an ignorant ass would have take up that and try to use it as a political point.
Yeah.
But Mr. HR, what you have to understand, the PNP and them monopolize misery, So what them do is, them know that Jamaica, we have a history of bad mind. So 28 just stimulate the bad mind in a way. We don't know why, but it kind of cripple with. We have to, one man of 28, you don't mean nothing to him, but bad mind.
Yeah, bad man.
Yeah. Because them know, remember that them monopolize misery, Look on Carson. And him at the leader of the misery team, Right? So for them aim is to put all these little terminology or these little numbers, 28. So we have learned how to turn the 28 and say our 28 our lucky number. When we get 18 years, 28 years we have to need to recover and put Jamaica where they should be.
Yeah.
So we need a minimum of 28. Thank you for the number. And 18 we are going for 28. Who's next? Who's gonna line up next after Brogard? Is it Nigel? Is it Pernell? You know what I mean? So we have to step more confident. We can't make the misery determine. You see, because 28 around 4 months it took with them flame there. It took with 5 months to convince Jamaicans said, no, I see them incompetent. Right? So them good at manufacturing all these outrage. And we are
but you want to know something?
We never really good PR-wise like them. So they go around and manufacture them thing and put it in the media, put it around. Because we have people that come from Jamaica and they say, hey, look at someone, him son of one of them, him this, him sweetheart of one. And I'm just saying, where to get this nonsense from? The PNP is very good at creating these things, right? Them should be out in the fire with data and gamble. And watch them. Them so clever, them put in the housing thing.
I know,
Baskin, is so great.
Baskin, I wouldn't say PNP is better at PR now, because right now as we speak, the Labour Party is doing PR. Labour Party had to PR now. Every candidate, every Labour MP had to PR now, you know. But the thing is, Jamaicans, as a people, we are predisposed to following nonsense and lie.
Yeah.
So any man can come with any foolishness and put before, you know, and they follow it. So I wouldn't say PR is better PR because Labour do PR from morning. But Jamaicans, we have a deficiency. We are predisposed to following foolishness and running back on lies and conjecture. That's our problem, you know.
Yeah, that's what we need to do, but we need to simplify.
Verify and to check it. So PNP PNP play upon that deficiency that we have as a people. So they come with that one bag of foolishness and one bag of lie, and people just run with it, right? They don't know if it's true, you know. They don't know it's true. And if you notice, I only comrade that run with it for the most part. Only the comrade them I run with it.
Yeah, but we the Labour Party, we have to run at them and out it. So where I say is they make it simple and very attractive, right? Because the data can be, what I'm saying, they even make the IC become attractive. How come we can't make the data and scandal become attractive? Right? So that's what we are saying. Right now we have to market it even a little bit better. Right? Either we now run behind them and just talk about the goodness, you know what I mean? Talk about the eyes we talk about the $20 billion road improvement. So we have to find ways to craft it, get more attractive to everybody. And very simple to where everybody can understand it. No make no sense we talk about no GDP, nobody will understand what that means. You know what I mean? We have to just sit in the road and just know where our voters are, where we can get the new voters in, and just run up the numbers. But as I said, I got enough confidence in Brogard.
But HR, why the MP them don't want to come out and defend the Prime Minister when they must say all these foolish? Because there are people, as I am saying, believing what they are saying. We know it's stupidness and we should look through it before we even say anything, but there are people, young people listening, even the labor rights listening and coming back and asking, is this true? What can go? So we need the bigger heads like the MP to really come out and speak as well on the situation. You understand?
You see, Makita, one thing you have to also realize that this is politics. So you're not gonna find labor rights and you're gonna find people on one side.
Yeah.
There's some things you can't control. Some things you can't control. But what the party can do and has been doing is in its PR efforts trying to counteract and thank God to the labor bloggers too. Counteracting the lies and nonsense that the PNP come with. And a perfect example of this is just a couple of days ago when the Prime Minister spoke about the malicious video that PNP has circulated on social media regarding the new social housing program.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the PR. But at the same time, you have to understand this is politics. You're going to find in any space, in any political space, you're going to find the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some people are going to believe the lies, some not going to believe the lies. You get me? So the work continues. We continue it as a party. We continue to blog against it. We continue to refute the lies because you cannot preempt the lies that PNP are coming with. You can't, right? But what we can do, what is in our control, the Labour Party that is, what is in our control, as the light drops up, we knock it. You get me? And the MPs have been doing that. The bloggers for sure have been doing that. Thank God for that. So we are trying. We haven't stopped. The campaign continues, the blogging continues, the Labour Party PR continues. We are trying.
Yeah.
So why are we promoting the Spark program? Why are we seen all over social media, all over the news, all over the front page? You know what I mean? The Spark should.
If
statutory declaration for Andrew and all these things.
All right,
become the problem now.
all right, foresight.
When
Hold on
these
now.
things become important, Jamaica not grow up and copy country being them problem. People talk about money in them pocket. People talk about tax. Those were the problems that Jamaicans used to complain about. Now, because of the Jamaica Labour Party address them problems,
Yeah, we have to
all
hold them
different
at
kind of
understand.
unusual problem now come up. Because they can't talk about, right, the pain points that the JLP address. And we need to understand them camaraderie and how them do it. Them cannot talk about the real common problems that Jamaica face because JLP address most of them. Which have
Foresight, hold on now. But we just get Churchill for sermon for say, because we don't want to get out on a wild way. Churchill, out of respect, say we have to say, brother. Because a long time you want to say, we have to say Churchill.
So, now go address the point when talk about inflation before me go back on the point for me and say. You notice that the market try to dismiss the numbers. And then the same thing they do with the crime statistics. When we give out when they starting come out with when the JCF come out with the crime statistics, they try to dismiss it and move the goalpost on that. And it's the same thing now he's trying to do with inflation. Inflation is measured, is a universal or global method they use to measure inflation. And no amount of deflection can change that, Glenn. Right? Now, the other point that I was talking about, and we seem to miss that, when he said that Andrew called election, Andrew take the IC to court because the issue won't be able to discuss before election. And that is another one we might try to deflect. Because how can you sacrifice your personal rights? Is that what you're asking? You should sacrifice your rights just because of an election? That don't make no sense. If you have your right being violated, whether it's immediately before election or after election, you have to take into account what is important to you personally, your personal rights. Yeah?
You know which right Andrew is saying is being breached?
You haven't been listening to us at all, don't.
His right to privacy.
So you have right to privacy. You are a human being.
As a public officer.
Okay, so Nathan Campbell have right to privacy when he must try sue people.
Glenn,
as a public officer.
Especially because he's the prime minister. He understands what is going on. So he has to protect, especially because he's the prime minister.
That's why he has to protect his privacy?
Bro.
I'm saying, because of what
they never read the IC report.
Went too far in personal life. One at a time, brother. Sisters, one at a time.
Bro,
all right, caution asleep. Hold on. All right, caution, you there now. I know why you asleep. Hold on.
Hold on.
Caution, you there, next place asleep. Go ahead, Philip.
I have a question. I want to know what level teacher you are. Are you a master teacher one, master teacher
that's private.
two? Are you a trained
teacher?
You're not going to answer that.
Judicial review is just...
So why you come up here?
The judicial review, brother, right, is for the courts to look at whether or not the IC acted in accordance with the law, right, in assessing the Prime Minister's financial affairs. Nothing is wrong with that. Because based on what was happening, right, it opens up or it raises the questions of partiality. And the Prime Minister have all right to have the court conduct a
Next
technical review.
Foresight, what he's
All right.
saying,
Well, I know.
what he's saying now, that the election has an influence on that. That's what he's saying. He's not saying whether he has a right to do it, yes or no. He
Next
brings
year.
the election into question. That's what he's doing. No, I missed the point.
Yeah, but when the election was coming up, the local government election, they rubbed the prime minister name into the mud, and I got too far in the man's personal life.
Next patient.
I know that the man rectified that.
Yeah,
They must say no
all
election,
right,
make him
all right.
rectify that. The man at the
All right,
president.
watch out now, then. Well, I know, Churchill. Man, has respect to everybody. Gosh, I'm supposed to sleep in that space in the bed.
No,
No, man, cooler, man, we not say my sleep. We know where I do, we don't say these things, brother. Gosh, and
yeah.
You're up in
All
that
right.
space.
See, now,
In that space.
I have a great concern. I want to know why Desmond Mackenzie are thief the indigent people land.
All right,
And I put towards the government.
This
That's
don't
a
make
hard
no
problem.
sense.
Them money why KSMC.
I don't know if you
Tell
can
me why
answer.
Dayton and Mark Gordon and Swebe are thieving in the people that money on KSMC. Tell me that I never will tell about data. So tell me.
No, we're not a proof for that. We're not a proof for that. We're not a proof for that.
Everybody can't talk to you one time. Everybody can't talk to you one time. Yeah, man, go there. Yeah, man, out of respect, no. Everybody mute them mic, please, because I'm sweet to come down to you know.
Yeah, man, we are gonna make good talk to you.
Yeah, we're sweet to come. I want to know, we don't want nobody. We don't want nobody mute nobody. We don't want nobody drag nobody out of nothing. Make we so go on. Come so caution all about. I want nobody make caution use no monk brain like him cheat clever. Cause that him base off by no cleverness. So what you know? Go to deal with caution.
Go to ask about the boys.
Well, I know Mario. Make go to deal with
Mr.
caution.
Carlson, you want to know about Desmond Mackenzie? Please to tell the 134 people on the live and the people them on the For You page why Dayton Campbell and Andrew Swebe are conquered for take KSMC money and buy PNP where in the by-elections that are coming up. Answer with that first.
But good, I know. Ada same something the Vegas I get so far.
Tell Dayton to come sue me.
Nobody tell him come sue me too.
Serious people out of respect. Make them two person do them thing. Me know nobody a jump in and say wake and I go mute people. I mean, I don't want mute nobody. Let's have this fight. It's a boxing match.
Tell Mr. Dr. Campbell to come sue me, not to sue Vegas. Because me ask him
where you do now? Let me show you how you do it now. Come back to Jamaica Goody, put up your right name and open your live.
Let me tell you my name. My name is Shanice Green. That's on my page.
Shanice Green.
No, me say listen up. Me run off America. Me dey Jamaica for the year. So when you try sign out.
Goody.
When you try sign out. Where want me in Jamaica?
So open your camera. Open your camera like what Vegas to do and say it. That's all.
So you open up your store when you talk to him with him, Caution.
My people.
You open up yours.
This and me say people can't sue me, you know. A she say can't sue us.
If you know, say you can be sued. Why you say that? You say you know, say appropriate.
See that? Yeah, man. Come on, man. Hey, first time, everybody.
Shut up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, answer, man. You make your answer, man. You make your answer. Go there. You make your answer, go there. Hold on, go there. You got answer, man. Caution. I saw your badness set now, you know. It's so brawling, she go with it. Can you do this?
Put on the big screen.
Caution, show yourself, you know. You can't show yourself.
Man, put on the big screen. Put on the big screen.
No, you can't show yourself.
I'm in a request to show myself, brother.
Let me ask Dr. Dayton Campbell, the gen check of the PNP.
No, ask
why him need for recording
tell him.
to sue
No.
Tell
him thief the money.
Tell him KSMC money.
All right, call him name now. Well, let me tell you how to do it now, good. Well, I'm go there. Tell you how to do it. Call him name. Call out him name. Watch out. You like the camera?
Yeah. You are eyeglass.
You're a joke kind of bird chain. You're a real joke.
Caution, let's come with Caution, you're a liar. Caution, let's come with liar thing.
Yeah, watch now. But me I talk about the indigent land. Nobody don't want to talk about the indigent land.
No, we're not talking about that. We are talking about where these
don't want to tell people how the government are teach the indigent land.
You and your friends can be free in Jamaica. That's what we are talking about.
Jesus Christ, me say, yo, tears come out of me eye. Tears come out of me eye when me say this
so
man.
guys, you can take out caution now. Because I'm not here propaganda in compass.
Yes, run out.
Gosh, disrupt with like that. Gosh, hold on, no, man, it's better. Caution, want to show your body, boy. Come on. Brother, I don't mean caution, you're a real soft man still, you know.
Well, I know my people. What may I say?
Yeah, hold on, Glenn, because so it thing get crazy. Because everybody know what caution all about. Now, whether coach, everybody know what caution all about. Everybody know what caution.
First lady of the people. But afraid of them can't soon know.
No, fuck them thing there. You see, we fear talk.
All right, you see me I try to show you. No, I just want to get a sight. No, hold on, Glenn. I just want to see the reason why these people is not good for Jamaica. So you just witness a orange man showcase all type of behavior and wildness. So you see, say these, and I'm alone tan say, you know, a whole heap of them tan say, you know. So you know where they right there, so now where they are, so you're there long still, and nobody now say until you stay, but people are getting irritated right now because in the day you're still not ready to work with your thing. No, you know, expired yet. It's about to expire. But what I'm saying to you, you've been peacefully and chilling and rare with the reverse psychology and all these things we accept and them things there. And we understand your point in so we don't know where I say, but at the end of the day, we respect for your time and these things, whatever anything more to say, pertaining to what just happen or whatever, you can do so before me or whatever.
All right.
Yeah, remove. I say remove no. I say remove nothing. Cause anybody wants to say something to you can, but me just tell you. I
want to ask the platform here is raise the conversation to where we are talking about the issues. Juliet Cockburn bring a bill go in a parliament, go say Jamaican women want to have more abortion. It's when me do the research, people give money and foreign for do it. As the politician, you know. And she go come to Jamaica talk how women are dead. I try to seek abortion at Jamaica. Where everybody knows it's a league.
You know this man lie on the first stop, you know, because that can be a lawsuit. You know,
ask Glenn a question.
Yeah, prove how the lady do that. Man, retract that man. Man, shut down that here, sir. Right, because this man has lie about the woman. You have to prove that, sir. Shut him down from that rubbish.
She
shut down the youth and move on to something else.
No, don't take him down yet, man. I want to ask him a question.
No, but shut down the part that tell him to change it. Don't keep it up. Don't keep up the argument. Hold on, a classic. Make him change the part there. Don't make it go on to something.
The big question is this. Being that Satan Campbell, sue everybody. Can you ask him to sue Lawrence Rowe? Because he has such a clean record. He's innocent of everything that Lawrence Rowe is saying that he did. It is not him that is on the tape. The conversations on WhatsApp, it's not him. So Lawrence Rowe is wrongfully accusing Satan Campbell.
I think
ask him. Can you ask your comrades, again, Gensec, spokesperson on agriculture. He sits on the ECJ as a commissioner, and he's a reputable individual. He has a clean track record. You understand me? Ask him. Ask him not to just sue the people over the Jamaica Labour Party side, but go and sue.
He can't sue nobody. I lie, my tell. Me tell you, he can't sue nobody. Can I send up my name?
Ian.
Yeah, my boss. Sorry.
Yeah, man. So, Glenn, you can't do that for me because we can't get a whole Campbell, you know. I might hide from the media. I might hide from everybody.
Like how you're a comrade. Can you do it for us? Contact the data, Campbell. But if you stop talk about say, me affiliated with the PMP, I am a teacher where I try to raise Jamaica.
You sure you're a teacher?
Liar, you don't lie to me, man.
No. You think it is fair that
I am a fit
go tell the people them?
I
go tell the youths them. So boy, they need to go groom themselves. And fear it looks so. How no fi tell people to go groom themselves and you want groom? Talk truth, man. Do better than that, brother. You have to pick your beam out on a year before you try to pick you out of somebody one.
However, I feel like.
Eh?
Before me try to pick what?
Right now, if I'm an education minister, you have to trim or go groom yourself.
Exactly, but you have rights. Same like how Andrew have rights.
What kind of you look like one in a thing there, brother, in a jacket suit. I'm tell you, brother.
No, man, not gonna be there, man. Don't do that, man. Go on now.
And every day, no pressure you use them, so.
What on the classic? What on the blame? Yeah, man.
Still I ask you, forget to comrade Satan Campbell and ask him to just go and sue Lawrence. Please. And then him can sue everybody else.
Watch out now. Glenn. Almighty. Glenn went.
Can you imagine you look like Cruff in a jacket suit? I want to go tell people if you got trim. Eh? Come on, man.
Because him falls every time. Him never not teacher neither. I'm only said so. I want to see him try my teacher. You never declare who me say he's a batty boy. I mean, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, good.
You see?
Yeah, man. We don't want them kind of things.
You know. Yeah, and describe the Prime Minister and this.
Ian, go on in I comment to be. Just breathe.
Yeah, man. What I know, man. Some people have self-control. I just want that, you know. Yeah, man. Respect, man.
Welcome X.
Glenn, out of respect, brother. All right, today again, Zayn. All right, Chacha, Almighty. Philippians, you have nothing to say, sister? Good, you have nothing to say?
No, I'm finished with Ian. Ian doesn't make sense to me, so it's okay.
Classic, you have nothing to say?
I just ask him to go ask Satan Campbell for sue Lawrence. At the same time, go groom yourself too, brother.
Foresight.
Yeah, nice. Me not be ask you now. This one a PMP.
Well, foresight, yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, all me have to say.
Yeah.
When I grew up in Jamaica, when me people used to talk or complain about low wages, right? High crime rate, right? Bad roads, right? Things like those. Now that these problems are being addressed under this JLP government in a much better way than under any administration prior to this one, right? These people are acting as if they don't want to give the government credit for it. So we hear all different kind of weird issues now that are being raised, right? I would like to ask Glenn, when he was getting the wage freeze that was frustrating him and the low salaries, were he that concerned about cockpit country and Prime Minister's declaration at that time, right? The average Jamaican have certain pain points, right, that are now being addressed. When we see increase in the income tax threshold, we used to hear people complain about, government are overtax we, and when also we tax money ago. Now we have a government that has imposed no new tax on us, and we see far more being done with tax dollars, right? It is clear to any well-thinking Jamaican, right, that this government is doing a far better job, right, than the PNP. It cannot be denied. We don't want to hear about a cockpit country We don't want hear nobody where come and a search for some reasons to discredit the government. Me not gonna have it. And Jamaica must not have it. Because a lot of the times, we can't ignore reality. We cannot afford to ignore the reality, right, of a better government, right? Because of some speculation. And when we say speculation, a lot of things where we say, oh, we don't want to vote for it. Or some people say, oh, we don't want to vote for him because we hear this and we hear that. There are speculations. So why would you ignore reality because of some speculation? The reality is we are living in a much better Jamaica now. We are seeing much more being done now with our tax money. We have a government now that pay with more and tax with less. Right? The PNP used to tax with more and pay with less. This government, no new tax and pay with more. The infrastructural development, right, is unprecedented. Rural development is something that we have not seen under the PNP government at all. We are now seeing it under this JLP government. Parish by parish. More jobs for the youth. More money for the youth. Everybody benefit. And we need to stop entertain these kind of distractions, right? And this kind of pretense by the PNP, like them not see so the country in a better place. We know so them know so the country is in a better place. Them just want them party in power. Because for them, it's party over country. We don't have nothing more to say.
Hello, good evening. I just want to ask the gentleman that says that Juliet Cuthbert, is it Glenn? Was it you, Glenn? That said.
Marcia, I advanced a point about Juliet Cuthbert.
Pardon me?
Yes, I advanced a point about Juliet.
And you're saying that she's asking
human
for
reproductive rights. So she has a bill, or she presented a bill to Parliament.
Correct.
Advocating for abortion to be legal.
Not on a wide scale base. It was for a particular situation where incest was involved or the mother's life was at risk.
What's
your line?
No.
Just let me ask, what's your, that's not what happened actually, but I'm going to ask you this question. What's your concern about making abortion legal?
All right, Marcia, first of all, I want to say, I don't have a I would give women the right to do whatever they want to
Hold
do.
on a second, hold on.
I made that
Hold
statement.
on. 1 second.
Oh,
1 second. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I made that statement in support of the fact that politicians were advancing bills, laws in Parliament that we Jamaicans hear nothing about. And I was saying my job is to elevate the political conversation in Jamaica to a point where we Jamaican citizens are actually the ones dictating the policy or taking the policy to our members of Parliament and having them enacting laws that we care about, not them going to some foreign summit and have somebody telling them what they should come and implement as the law in Jamaica. That's it.
Right. Number one, when you said you give her the rights, what right, legal right, do you have over a woman's body?
You're not getting what I'm saying, my friend.
No. But I'm asking you before we
no illegal. A doctor
before we go there, before we go to the second part, I just want to ask you. That's why I did interrupt first. I just want to ask you this question: what right, as an adult citizen, the woman is of age, consensual age, she get pregnant. What right do you have as a male to make a decision for her over her body? You won't be able to answer that. Okay.
Marcia, I have no right over what anybody does.
So I think you should retract that first statement that you made. You gave her. So let me.
It was an example in support of the point that I was making.
Okay, let me say this to you. That is part of her portfolio. Number one, what she actually asked for is to legalize it more so women can have access to healthier abortion. A woman should not be forced to carry a child that is of incest, that was raped. She was raped by her father, by her stepbrother, by her brother, by uncle. A woman should not be forced by a male who raped her to make a decision to bring forth that child. Because we are not making decision on your sperm. Women are not asking for you to make decision. Women are not asking you to go castrate yourself. Women are not asking those questions. What she asked for, to have it safe, for women to access safe for abortion. Because when women go behind door, and she did it because it is part of her portfolio, Argentina, who is a Catholic country, just passed a bill. And she made reference to say that they passed the bill, and she thinks that Jamaica, so she didn't get no funding from any country. She didn't get no funding. Remember, Lisa Hanna is the one who want to cut out the Buggery law in Jamaica. So how come you don't have a problem with Lisa Hanna? Just a second, because you haven't answered anything I've said to you. I gave you a chance. Let me speak. How come Lisa Hanna put forth a bill to amend the Buggery law in Jamaica? And I don't hear you or anybody saying that Lisa should not be putting forth that bill or putting forth that argument. Go ahead and answer my question now, please.
Because you advanced several points, Marcia, please give me some time to address them.
Go ahead.
First of all, I'm going to show that I am not partisan by saying to you that it is running to its first when he was education minister, that in 2017, that sent a document to schools that informed all stakeholders, specifically guidance counselors and teachers, that they should be careful as to how they address certain issues that arise at school. So I'll give you the example that they presented to me when I asked some questions in a meeting. They said that there was a time when in a in 2017, that document explained explicitly to us that we could no longer use that premise. And it went on to say that we should consider the fact that there might be boys or children at school who are coming from a household where they have two males or two fathers. So we were to be careful, and as teachers, we were advised not to talk on these issues at all. We were to refer them to the guidance counselor, and for the guidance counselors, they informed them that they should speak to them in a manner that says that it was healthy development regardless of what gender they were attracted to. Ronnie Twaits, PMP. All of this was coming from international agencies. Good. Listen to what I'm saying, please, Marcia. As a people, I am trying to increase our level of intelligence in these type of political conversations to the point when we are the ones advancing what we think is right, what we think is positive development for our children. Now, let me fast forward and explain to you that the Harmony Beach Park was created by the using funds from, among other entities, the USAID, to set up what they call safe spaces in order to implement social transformation. Andrew Holness went to more than one meetings in America. There's even the Piers Morgan interview when he was asked the question about boogery. And when he was asked this question...
Hold on. Before you... No, you're talking too much. So let me ask you this question.
No, make him finish the booger in something that come on. No, make him finish, Miss Marcia.
Oh my God in heaven.
Please, make him finish the booger in something.
Andrew Holness explained to the entities that were telling him that he needed to fix the laws in Jamaica. He explained to them that he cannot just come to Jamaican people and tell them or force them to accept something that is contrary to our culture. What they agreed in the meeting is that they would spend some money and help Andrew Holness to set up some
were you in that meeting? Were you?
That's what I want to ask him.
You know,
Were you in the meeting?
Hold on, can I ask a question?
I may ask you please to just go one side, let me finish.
No, may I ask if you were in the meeting? No. Were you in the meeting?
Show me. That's why
Lisa Anna was in that meeting. Was Lisa Anna in that meeting? Because I can surely tell you that Lisa Anna was the one who came to Parliament and wanted to repeal the Bugre Act or law, whatever they call it. So was Lisa Anna in that meeting? Because Andrew never even table it. Nobody from full side never table it.
Explain, Classic. Our politicians are not acting.
No, you cannot. Hold on.
Our politicians.
Were you?
Hold on. Hold on.
Right.
Listen to me. Hold on. This man makes some accusation.
That him do. In time, like him agree with something, and then it's
hold on a second. I need to ask him a question. Hold on. The
boy have a plan over us.
No, you're not gonna speak over us. Give us a chance. You made some point. You made some point, and I want to ask you a question. Because I asked you the question. You said that.
Don't answer all I want to ask him.
Hold on. You said that. Hold on a second. You said that the government, Andrew went to the United States, meet some people over there, and he gets some money from them to develop the Harmony Park, which is the Harmony Park, which was called the Walter Fletcher's Beach in Montego Bay. It's now been renamed, developed by, of course, Andrew Holness, give them a proper beach. And it's now called Harmony Park. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful park in Western Jamaica. So tell me where you have evidence to say that the money came from some meeting he had in the state. Because so give me that evidence. Tell me where I can find it right now.
On the floor of United States Senate, it was stated that
stop your lying. No, that's not true. You're lying. Number one, the money came from the Tourism Enhancement Fund.
Where did the money
hold on a second. The enhancement for the tourism. Can you mute him, please? Can you mute him so I can talk to the people? Can you mute him so I can talk to the people? No, I'm talking. Let me finish.
Marcia, go finish. You go finish. Better try level it ground. You're gonna finish. Glenn, make you finish.
Can I go ahead? The money came from the tourism, the primary funder came from the Tourism Enhancement Funds. The Tourism Enhancement Fund is where we call departure tax or arrival tax that tourists pay, that me pay to come to Jamaica. Because they charge me. Anytime I book a ticket to come, as a matter of fact, they said Jamaica is one of the highest destinations that charge so much money. And that's why they said Jamaica is a little bit not competitive with the other country based on we charge incoming tax and outgoing tax. That was the money. Then we went to the Inter-American Developmental Bank. They got the rest of the money from them. That company always help developing countries to fund some of their project there. So I would like you to tell me which meeting in America Andrew Goode will get money from them. No one with the article, because I can send you this article. I can send you this article.
I want to muscle make them get away with that rubbish. Yes, dear.
Right? You have no right as a male. Right? You, the pastors and everybody who are raping these underage girls, these taxi drivers, these teachers, right? Teachers, taxi driver, big ass men, brother, sister. I'm not talking any of my brothers here. Hope you're not any of them, but I know that my JLP supporters are not. Who are raping. How come we don't have law intact for those men?
To protect them.
Right?
And get pregnant too. Yes,
No,
sir.
I would not even swear for
How
all
come?
teachers. I would not swear for all of any males. And you're saying you know your JLP supporters don't. You guys need to wipe the paint out of your mind.
Well, you
Right,
need
the
to
paint.
stop. You come here and say you're
You
not
have
you
partisan. You
You're
are.
defending your
You are
party,
because
boss.
you've never
We defend
mentioned.
our one.
Hold on, Ian.
I'm telling you guys facts.
Ian, hold on. You
Yes,
have
dear.
never mentioned. Hold on, Ian. You have never mentioned that Lisa Hanna was the one who went into Parliament and asked for the Bagri law to repeal the Bagri law. You have never said that. You talk about run it wait, but Lisa Hanna, as of late, since 2023, I think it was 2023, Lisa Hanna went into Parliament, tabling it to say she wanted to be table. Oh, thank you, last year.
No, I'm not interested in finding dirt over that.
One of the things I want, I'm sorry for the bad word, my curse still, but it won't mean I'm not like foolishness. What about the issue with what she named Jolene Silva or whatever she named, and there's no uproar? If that had happened to a GLP, what they call it now, delegate or GLP high-ranking member, wife, we say green everybody that run with it every single day. The media is hush when it comes to anything, when it comes to the People's National Party. You know the reason for it? They find the People's National Party dangerous.
Let me ask you this personal question.
Decent.
Totally agree with you, Jenny. Let me ask you this question. If your underage daughter was raped, right? Was raped. Your underage 14 years old daughter was raped, right? Would you allow her to have that child? Would you allow her to have that child?
That's my question, Marcia.
Yes, I'm asking you.
I explained to you that I think...
No. Yes or no. It's just a yes or no. There is no explanation. Yes or no. If your underage daughter was raped by a 36 or 38 years old man, or even, well, whatever, but let's say that, a 40-year-old man, would you allow her, a 14-year-old child?
Say grape, Marcia, say grape.
Yes, I did correct myself. Thank you. I said grape. Would you allow that child who has been grape, who was grape, right now there is one in Montego Bay where the pastor graped the child. The child was going over there to get Bible studies according to him or do homework. And he graped the child. The mother and the pastor's wife trying to convince the child to say nothing went wrong. So would you allow your daughter to bring forth a 14-year-old child, to bring forth a child by a 48-year-old man or even younger? Would you do that?
Marcia?
No, just answer yes or no to that.
I am too intelligent. I want to add.
Well, if you're too intelligent, we're too dumb for you.
I want to add.
So no. You haven't answered not one of the questions.
I believe she should be allowed to do it without whether or not she was raped. I believe that people should have a right, or a female should have a right, if she even gets pregnant and she did not want this pregnancy, she should be able to go to a doctor and do it, and it shouldn't be against the law where the doctor that does it faces the possibility.
So you're saying then that you would give your daughter consent? You would give the doctor consent to abort that pregnancy?
Marcia, you're not ready for my conversation.
My dear, you're full of shit. You are full of shit. You think you're so intelligent. You are full of shit.
Marcia,
you are full of shit.
Marcia, Marcia.
No, but you should tell him that. You should tell him also what he said was wrong.
Yeah, man, I like Glenn just say a while ago, man. Said I make sure you can't go to it, so you don't know anything.
Why you come up here, Juliet?
All right, then. So Glenn, establish. You want to establish.
Me explain to you, my friend. Say it wasn't. It was maybe a bad example I went for because people might have a special feeling.
Well, to how you're intelligent, you shouldn't come. You shouldn't come over here.
Let him finish, Marcia. Let him finish, Marcia. Let him finish.
All right, we have been here for hours, and most of the comments that were made were about the people that we have there calling politicians and their personal lives and their business. As Jamaicans, this is how we approach politics, and that is why the decisions that are being made in the country, most of them don't serve the individual populace. In other countries, the citizens take a more active approach in the actual laws that are being passed or reformed or brought into Parliament. In Jamaica, most of these acts, when you hear them, even that booger is in that, it's the LGBT community. They know how to lobby. The word lobby.
So what if they want to lobby? Everybody has a right. Everybody has a right to lobby, whether we agree with it or not. You don't have to pass it, but they have a right to lobby if they want to lobby.
What are talking about?
I'm asking, can I see video?
More than one video, my family. I have a
one video, I say. I'm going to tell you about the one video.
Classic Jamaican, I talk about me here or whatever, you know. I know I talk about the part when I play Malcolm X clip in night and I say, who taught you to hate yourself and hate the texture you hear? You talk about, you see, you have a Rasta man as your EP with female Rasta here, you know. When you go talk about me, you already attack me as a person. And adapt me.
For you to quote Malcolm X and you are trying to push out a black man and nothing but lies for a man whose foreparents owned slaves. Don't Malcolm make
my friend, me did talk. Me don't know if you did there here, but me talk. So me would vote for Mark Golden.
So who are the alternatives then? So if
criticize, we more criticize.
Ian Wallan. Sir, Wallan, now let me ask you a question. May I have a conversation? If it's not Andrew Holness, because you don't like Andrew Holness, obviously, you don't want him to be the Prime Minister. Who is the alternative?
Joseph, it said Joseph.
Stop it. Don't do that, Oath. Don't do that. No,
Joseph.
in the video. Wait. In the last video.
I'm asking you right now.
Joseph.
Stop it now, Oath. We say in the last video, me talk plain say Joseph Patterson is not an alternative. Me like the idea say he was organized enough and intelligent enough to actually build a third party and actually bring it, get it passed and everything. But him is a Canadian
third party.
Me talk, you see him like come in a phone group and me talk to and me take the bashing or whatever because me intelligent enough to take it and same thing me do with them.
Listen to me, man. This man got intelligent enough. Self-praise is no compliment. Self-praise is no compliment.
Man say, in thing, man.
Damn done. I'm full of fear about that shit.
Calm down.
We not have style, brother. We not have style, nobody.
But he's doing it. He's doing it in a subtle manner.
Let me ask him a question based on the video. But me see the one video I see. I don't know if you have many, but the one I see is the one about Trans Jamaica Highway, where the government will be divesting its 20%.
Yeah.
What's the real issue you have with the divestation of the 20% that we have?
So let me explain now. You see, my belief, I am not going to say that that we should have a socialist government to try to take over all of the business, them and government around this and around that. Don't say around. You see it and you come here and behave that way to my family. Me dey on a panel still. We are going to talk. Don't say a word further. I am going to set the camera directly on this face so we are watching. Okay. Yeah. But it's a leak. If it's a leak, it's going to let out the water. Don't worry yourself. Me have the heat gun. But me I say me buy the extra camera them and buy the wire. So I just set it up and me I go put one of them and look directly there. So anybody go there, me see them. You understand me? Don't say anything from me. Yeah man, cool. This is what I say now, my people. You see, as a nation, they created division and make instead of we are look upon what them do and what them say as the policies. We are look upon the people them. Alright, Mark Golden got PMP conference or whatever, and I just be attack Andrew. I would never vote for that. And that may I show you now say I've never I not make no personal attack on anyone, you know. Like all when not attack me. And me can say it again. Because me as a person realize that that's something we have to improve in ourselves if we are going to elevate to a level where we are make more conscious decision. Joseph Patterson love talk about Singapore and the Singapore model and how the Singapore model of government is the right thing. And you know one of the first things when the Singapore model say, in order for the person going to parliament of Singapore, they have to be a citizen there, and once them become a member of parliament, them have to stay there. See, you don't want to tell no lie if you're 20, because I anymore have an issue, I'm going to go research about it if you're 20 or 50 years, them have to live there even after they exit office. America, I see same thing. When one American president leave office, the CIA follow them for the rest of their life. if they let out one secret or do anything against the interests of America, then go to prison. So may I say, are the policies were in place. We as the people fear pay attention to. We the people fear watch where them are bring our parliament. We the people when we don't want something now we see any one of them bring it going to parliament. We the people feel unite as JLP and PMP and go ask that one they say, oh you bring that going to parliament, which Jamaica people you represent with that, and that somebody they fear to just come out. Right now, the Andrew Holness administration has said they're going to do constitution reform and they're going to bring in one president, and I can't tell you why they're going to do it. The reason why they're going to do it is because Obama signed off.
You still not answer a question about the divestment where take place. Talk about divestment.
And that me did that, just say a whole heap of things about government to come to it, come say. In a video, me explain, Chris, say, people might have different opinion on it. Chris, whatever. But people might have different opinion on it. So some people might say, yes, man, the government will divest it. The government divest. The government either make from the two of them, and they have NRAC and you have the port. Where the NRAC did bring in $500 million. No, I lie. The port did bring in $500 million profit every year for the government. NRAC, because them still did have to pay the company where build it. Them can't say they either get X amount of money, but all of the money where they either get from it either go to the consolidated funds. So government did get the profit after them pay about the piece for them to pay them each month. We did make profit from these companies. I don't see why the government are going to sell what is a profitable business for just the private people are going to buy it. I know that a private people with money I go buy it. So we are go right back in how the people and with the rich people and the oligarchs and them are go there Jamaica in control of these things. When you sell your port, if the people all right, him selling port and the following week after him I say him I go sell out the shares in the port. Him a talk about stronger laws.
Divest no means say no sell it.
No, what kind of port you say? Who sell port?
Which one I port get sell?
Which one I port get sell?
You can't sell the country.
Sure, you know you beat up yourself while I go with that. You're intelligent in a brother, but
they must sell the 20% shares in it. That means that they now go there a board meeting where I make the decisions.
Well,
no, make the decisions.
No. It might feel time. It might take me 100 years. It might take me 100 years, but eventually Jamaica will reach it.
Are we the people? When
Glenn, you have to be first of all, you have to be truthful in your discourse. You're telling lies. So that's not going to make no sense. You have to be truthful in your discourse.
Tell me the lie.
That's the first thing.
Yes, sir. When I think when you catch me with the way you say a while ago, you say laws that got the parliament where like we are see a flavor with which laws Andrew this them implement now where you that say
let me just use the Bugari law. May I use the Bugari law if you do
listen, man,
and I would bring that one.
Listen to that Bugari something, I believe what you about it, my friend.
Was it passed in our parliament?
Pass which part?
But Bruce Golding did say not in my cabinet and the
JLP executive
not in not in my cabinet when him did dep on him foreign interview and the JLP executive make him step down the following day.
Glenn, you said you are a teacher and you don't like to answer the question. One at a time.
Following day? No, they would have asked him the following day if he stepped down. It took him about a week.
And follow what about a week? That's a lie. The man did the interview and remain the prime minister. You know what causes? You are a
two person can't talk one time.
Can beg a please?
Go ahead, Genuine, and address the shares thing that he's talking about.
All right, for me, sometimes things with sense, intelligent gymnastics in my play, right? And then him throw him another little lion piece. I have a problem with first when they divested the toll and gave everything to NRAC. I live in Portmore and me know who cars we have toll. Me go and go there, right? Because I know who cars. PNP make we have toll for our existing road and them shall just fix the road. But anyhow, When they decided to divest NRAC, I could have divested the toll. I could have invested in it. And I said to myself, say, boy, this don't make no sense. If them divest it at the time, you sell it, who take over the debt? Or when you sell it, pay down the debt. The diverse year type part of the share, pay down the debt and make the toll become a little cheaper for more people because it was already an existing road. Right? Me, you know, when I reason people now in the financial world, they must say, well, if the toll about you so much to take money out of you, invest in it because it make a bag of money, try to earn back from it. So at the end of the day, I kind of agree with that. But for me, when PG went ahead and turned the causeway into a 3-lane highway, into a 3-way toll road, and I tell me, if I go drive from Mandela, me never like it, because Mandela is not our original route. If Mandela was an alternative route. The toll should be alternative, not primary.
All right. Joseph. Well, yeah. Sorry. Glenn. Hold on, Glenn.
I'm still here.
Joseph, how are Joseph? I won't name Joseph. The next party man that I won't name Joseph.
The leader for the United Independent Congress, UIC, the third political party.
Oh, okay. So you sell a party there right now?
No, wait a little bit. May I explain to your host?
No man, hold on, let's listen first. No man, hold on, man. So now, we're up again. People want to take note of everything we're going right so. Now listen long time. We know what go on right now. Joseph, right now we're up against Joseph party and the Irish party. So the Labour right against two parties. So come
I realize that and a 33.
No, hold on, Joseph. Glenn, me I call Joseph. You may say Glenn. So you're up here now. Come on to take note what go on. Joseph has sell the next party. Joseph has defend the next party. That after Joseph, so it's just him man of PMP. And I forget the GIF. Him man of PMP, him man of Labour right. Him a Joseph party. No party. Third party. What do you mean? Not go so. Third party. No man. Yeah, listen better. You is the third party. And you sell a party, and you try to bring up the Prime Minister, pretend himself to resign, because you feel like you don't have a chance. So, brother, that's the way I did right as a brother.
You don't hear a joke. Right, you have a program on TV.
No, man, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, man. Let me tell you, brother, your party you sell, you put on PMP, you put on JLP, so the Joseph party is their party. So you're selling Joseph.
I did not say that.
What you mean? So alright. So brother, come on now, Glenn, man.
I am explaining to you that Joseph Patterson is even though he was intelligent enough to go establish a third party and have some points or some whole heap of people follow him and something. I am against what he is saying. Because he has a person, he believes.
You don't vote for them? You don't vote for the party there?
No.
So you vote for your three party now, and you say it's secretive.
I'm still not vote for it. Because the policy. I know people want to vote for the policy.
Alright, so I can jump in up on one. So when you're here, so when the Prime Minister said, boy, alright, realize that people are challenging to go to art and then believing in the human capital, right? And he's saying, listen, if you end up
hold on, you can mute Blessing. Somebody mute Blessing or
give you a stipend per week. Right? I know personally, for persons who attend art during the week, right? I know personally that those persons get lunch. I'm going to go see it for myself. Right? And if the government and the government is doing this to ensure that people have a skill or a trade, isn't that good policy for you? So I'm asking you now, isn't that good policy for you? Another thing I'm going to say to you, In 2000, between 2008 and between 2008 and 2010, I'm kind of finished.
Sorry, I'm cut. We want to wrap it up now still. We want to wrap it up. So we want to wrap up that kind of discussion now. And Glenn, no disrespect. I'm not get with it. I said no disrespect. You've been a great guy by even doing what you're doing and so forth. I'm glad nobody no disrespect, sir. And the patience we have, and then put something there. So big up on yourself. So when you complete with Glenn, one Glenn leave in peace, and next time Glenn can jump up back again and then we could think this. So it's okay. So let's wrap it up, please.
Yeah, so now what I'm saying, in 2000, between 2008 and 2010, when the government say, all right, the reason with the stock exchange and the reason with the FSC, and this is what they said. They said, listen, we're going to have a junior stock exchange, right? And those smaller entities who need capital, instead of going to the bank, would have the level of bureaucracy and red tape and make things so challenging. You basically file a prospectus, you have it approved, and you go to the stock market, in other words, the capital market, from an equity perspective, and you get some capital. And you are not taxed for 10 years. You know, that is why LASCO grew to the level that it is now, and even growing better. A number of concerns. Are you saying that's a good policy or not?
Have to be a good policy. Anything we encourage more production.
All right, I can say this there now. What sort of policy has anybody else put in place to make sure some business come around? Which other government has to behave like that? More than others, except for, well, the PNP over the years just a sell everything. The thing about it, people just do not want to admit that this government has tried. We will never ever be a Singapore. I can say this.
If you make that statement, then it is true. But if you think we can, then we can move in that direction.
No, we will never. We can be great enough for ourselves and even better than what we are. Singapore, the way Singapore, even though Singapore is one of the best countries in the world in terms of
the size of Portland, you know.
Hold on, let me explain now.
The size, the land,
Let me explain why Singapore end up the way it is. It's not only because they came here and understand our model. The Chinese and the Americans and the rest of the world couldn't get along. Singapore is in a particular location where they basically invited business people around the world, and that caused the trade. And China, Singapore was okay, and the rest of the world was okay, and that became a hub for everybody to do business. It was convenience for everybody, right? At the time when Jamaica should have been the Singapore, you had ports in Miami, ports all over the world already. Right? You had the Panama Canal, right? So Jamaica could never necessarily have that going. We had our ADA for backside, and people need to do a little reading. Right? Jamaica would have had its challenges, but I'm saying Singapore, the location of Singapore, in terms of its proximity to China, that is why, and investors went there just because they wanted to trade with China. You can do a research.
But remember this story, you have a big equation to remember, say them, they say 5 flights a day. And if you tell the business people, the middle class people who have the money in their country, say 5 flights a day, and them have to live up, what you think of happen? So that is a big setback at the time too. You understand what I say?
That Michael Manley said, when Michael Manley said, who want to go can go, because there are 5 flights a day to Miami.
Okay, so if you understand what we are trying to say, so if you can understand that, if the people who actually have the money in the country, you have to tell, say, yo, lift up if you want to lift up. But you're simple, that you already put the money to your country.
Yeah, man, it was a big setback at that time. Where a statement that a Prime Minister could have made.
Because Michael, the PMP don't know how to balance the book, my friend. And that is the problem we have right now as Labour right. Every time the Labour right come in and put some decent policy in place, Jamaica people cannot wait for what them supposed to get, and then decide, say, okay, we're going to switch to something where come demonize the country and damage the country, and that is a fact. The 90s tell you so when the world are going in the 90s. Jamaica going on a whole. I never the Labour in a power in the 90s. A PMP in a power. But how not come size up Labour right with PMP when every time we are trying to do what we're supposed to do. You hear me say no? The problem we have right now, just people keep on a compare PMP and JLP. There's no compare. Because if one party get 18 consecutive, any government get 18 consecutive years, you can't change one whole generation. You get two decades, you can't change anybody's life. That's more than a person's life. It change and make the youth and look what happen. We see the crime rate go sky high. The death go sky high. Poverty go sky high. Every single thing go sky high in the 90s when everywhere else are growing up and children that make it. United States, them the hope. Jamaica was always dead down in our local world because you have bad management. And that is why Labour right be the way we be like this. Because we see our growth and
Genuine one. Hold on, Glenn. Genuine one.
Jamaica and bringing
no, hold on, Glenn, hold on. Genuine one. When JPS shares was being sold, who could buy those shares? Was it the common man?
They have divested.
No,
JPS shares was sold to. The JPS shares was sold to. Paul sold the JPS shares to.
Well, said the answer is no.
So why now that Andrew is making these public offering for us to buy shares, so we can benefit from the growth of this country? Why is it a problem for people like Glenn?
Individually, so it will be an amount of shares that you have to buy, and the amount of shares can be whether the
and hold on, and the Prime Minister.
Who tell the fact there? Who tell the fact there?
You can't go buy
one. Hold on, brother.
What you say?
Who tell the fact there? Listen to me. The shares have been reserved for the regular retail clients. They have the opportunity to invest first in these in these divestment. Listen, you need to go read.
Yes.
And the institutional investors have to wait until those persons exhaust their quota. What remains is institutional investors afterwards.
There's a mechanism in place that the big rich man can buy out certain amount of shares either.
This is my
area. Put in that tonight. Go ahead, Winner.
This is kind of my era. But I want to ask Glenn, did you take up the opportunity in 2018, when Wigton was made off of a sale?
No.
Public? Did you take up Trans-Jamaica Highway?
No.
Okay, so you have not benefited from the assets of Jamaica that was given to us. This is the first time in history that a government decided to give the assets to the people. You as a common man tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock can get up and own Trans-Jamaica Highway, that assets that you drive through on a daily and reap from it dividends. So not that you're paying your toll at the end of the year. These things are paid back to you in the form of dividends. You also have capital appreciation. The Trans-Jamaica Highway came to market at $1.41, and it reached a high of $5.
Okay.
Trans-Jamaica Highway made a lot of Jamaicans millionaires. Where were you when all of these millions were being made by Jamaicans?
In the poor teacher calf.
That's nonsense. I can go and pick up your salary on the internet now and prove that you're lying to your teeth.
I can send it to you, Winner.
Like up live, guys. Like up live. Some more people can.
Don't
do that. When you, I heard you talk about inflation the other day. When you were given an MOU, wage freeze, and a runaway inflation and a sliding dollar, you weren't complaining.
Yes, I was.
Okay, now you have stable dollar, stable inflation, and an increase in your salary, and you're complaining?
It can't satisfy me now. They cannot satisfy. Cannot
Hold
satisfy.
on, make him answer, make him say, hold on, make him.
2016, the dollar has only depreciated by around $26. That is the most stable our dollars has been since liberalization in the early 90s. What are you talking about?
Just the policies.
What policies? The policies that IMF, World Bank, and every other country on the face of the earth has recognized Jamaica for. We are now the poster child for the IMF and the World Bank. What policies are you talking about?
I think it's because of the public sector transformation that Nigel Clark was able to spearhead, where he held the teachers to a 20% increase, while politicians got 300% increase.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Father,
public record.
I'm a public sector worker.
You can go and internet and look. Some public sector workers got over 300%.
That's what I said.
Don't do that. That is public knowledge. Don't do that. Did you see the salary increase for some of the doctors? Moving from 1 point something million to 5 point odd millions? What are those salary increases? Those are 20%?
No, they're about politicians.
Don't bother try that, brethren.
Understand what I'm saying?
No, you are talking
rubbish. Because you're lying.
I am mislead people.
No man.
Hold on, all right, Glenn, you have something you want to say? Don't think Glenn say, Glenn, just give him free speech, make him just say, hold on up here, everything, we don't want to make it look like it are full. So Glenn, make Glenn say what he say, and then somebody can adjust what he say. Please and thanks, out of respect.
I am saying.
Yeah, but that you do not adjust, him just say,
hold on, make him say everything never done.
The average classroom teacher got an increase of around 25 or 27%. While let us just say I am going to use the word politicians. The following week, a delegation of ministers from around the world came to sit in. It was them stiffing the teachers again, stiffing the nurses again.
I am looking at the current public servant. Well, I look a bit winner as a current public servant. Glenn, you have to be, I'm going to tell you, we don't care where you want to vote for, be truthful in your discourse and stop telling lies. Because first of all, you said that Nigel forced teachers to get 20%. Now you're saying, some get between 20 to 26%. That is one lie that I just identified that you told, right?
What did you say?
You said that Nigel forced teachers to subdue to 20% increase while politicians got 200%. Then you come back and say teachers got between 25 to 26%. So that's a lie that you told.
Let me, Goody, which part of the scale in fall? You're a trained graduate, Mr. Glenn?
He doesn't want to answer that.
All right, so I'm going to assume he's a trained graduate. When the Prime Minister took charge of Jamaica in 2016...
we don't want nobody to come cuss and go and bad and wild out. We are trying to keep it militant. You know, nobody come up with the cussing and the wilding and then something there. Just keep it militant. Yes.
Trained teachers were getting $1.351 million. That was the existing salary. With immediate effect from April 1st, 2022, that moved from 1.35 to $2.52 million. The next year, it moved from 2.52 to 2.82 million. The next year after that, it moved from 2.82 to $3 million. That is trained graduates. Within within 3 years, the salary moved from 1.35 to $3 million. What are you telling me about, bro?
Ready for me to say it?
Which one are you scared of?
The study that commissioned those figures was the Ernest & Young study.
And it said that teachers were supposed to be getting that $3 million from 2017. That same study is what Nigel Clark used to increase their salary.
All right.
With immediate effect.
What is the public sector wage bill of GDP? No, let us reason. What? Because if you're following the politics, you know exactly what derailed our economic progress in 2010. It was the same nurses and police that erode that. We had to pay them a salary, and which basically destroyed the deal with IMF. Now, the public sector wage bill of GDP as we stand is 13.5. The PMP, your government, has been on record. The opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, is saying that it's excessive, too high. Three things the PMP can do to correct that. They would have to present a plan that is going to grow so high that that 13 point thing would have been reduced to within the bracket of 9.5, which the PMP proposed. 2, reduce the public sector work number. That means we're going to increase our unemployment rate. Or 3, administer the memorandum of understanding, which are wage freezes, and allow the economic condition to grow. And we know that the PMP can't do that. Is that what you want to go back to, sir?
You see, I am trying to explain to you that the education system is suffering because we have brain drain going on because of the policies that were implemented.
All right. Okay. All right. So in 2022, we had over 1,500
teachers. Make him line out.
Yeah, man, make him finish.
Has a responsibility to increase the production of the company so that they can pay the wage bill, the country. For you to keep paying public servants or persons who are offering their time in the public service. If you keep paying them pennies, then you can have mass migration as we are facing now. And what is happening is that the best and brightest minds leave Jamaica in pursuit of a better life somewhere else. And that cannot be what's best for a country.
Hold on, give me a second there.
Hold on. No, let me just finish the point. Would you agree that in 2020, we don't get the migration for last year, 2024. For 2022, we had over 1,500 teachers leaving the shores of Jamaica. And after the massive salary increase, what was the number that left the prior year? That was cut in half. And I expect a further reduction this year because teachers are more satisfied than what they were in 2021.
Well, I will look forward to, I'm looking forward to those numbers, but I have a different view.
Hold on, just one thing, yes. Hold on, just one thing, yes. When I say hold on, are you just coming out of the hold on, a long time you see waiting, my friend.
No, man, hold on, man. Your man, them in the building. How about this?
Remember, say we're not female, we are man.
Hold on, brother. Yeah, man. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, when me tell my boys, majority of the teacher them who leave Jamaica with a teaching profession and go other places. They not go to other country and do a teaching work. They've got in a different field. Because we have a couple of friends where leave Jamaica as a teacher when they come in a different country. I know that them do every different things.
I want you to understand how bad that is, you know. That somebody who was a teacher in Jamaica would be willing to go to another country and do evil.
No, but you can look at it this way though. You can look at it this way though, you know. Alright then, if the teaching profession in our next country was that good, they would have come and then fall into the teaching profession. But because even in the other country, by doing the teaching profession, you have to work far more hard than when you are in Jamaica, so they stay away from it. I mean, personal experience. So me not talk for people.
Every teacher that I know,
more than one teacher tell me that. Some alright.
Doing one job.
My budget.
Two can't talk one time. Hold on, two persons can't talk one time. Make him finish, Glenn.
My virgin wife leave Jamaica as a teacher, right? And too old bad. I stay home now and get and be a housewife because she said she can't deal that because it not worth a while for she to get up at morning time again at the call for go teach them and pick me because it don't make no sense. Teacher have to do a whole heap of overtime in this country if you can own house and other things. And that is a fact because you look at small salary, you have to earn over 100,000 to get one house of value 500,000. And a teacher, average teacher in America, now work that. So they have to do mad overtime. So when you know compare places, when you get the facts them, and then you compare them.
$4,700 a month, most territories. That's the average.
You can't go and talk,
But the 4,000, I'm jumping on the panel. I know darker shade, but the 4,000, the 4,000 we are talking about, what the person them mortgage, what the person them
man, I understand what you're saying, and that is why
so why are you here as a teacher? May I ask you, please may I beg you, take the next flight and leave and tell us your experience, please.
All right, genuine. But I really want to divert from what was said earlier. I think we're stuck to teachers and what teachers are getting. But we must look on the broad spectrum, which is the public sector overall. Public sector not only has to do with teachers, but different sectors of the public sector. Different
nurses,
different organizations, different organizations within the public sector, right? And I think what we need to understand is that for years we never understand how our wage bill was paid and how we were paid as it relates to the wage increases that we receive. Whenever we receive them. And what happened a couple of years ago was we had the finance minister step in and let us know that how our wages were being paid it was not being done properly. So this is why we didn't understand what we were supposed to receive at any given time. Whatever we were supposed to receive whenever there's the time come for wage increases to take place. We never know what we get, so then give it where them feel like. You go in a negotiation, the government say, yo, this we have and this we can get and you have to just take it. You understand? Or is a case where you're here, boy, we don't have no money to pay no more money, so we have to freeze on the wage for a period of time. I don't have to ban no belly. All of these things. So when JLP came in with was the scale system. A system which shows us exactly where we are as workers. You understand what I'm saying? So on the scale, we would have seen where the different public sector workers holding different positions where they sit on the scale. You understand? Now, if it is, see, this is a simple understanding of the thing. If it is that government ministers, when the scale system is put in place, and the scale shows them at a place where they are not supposed to be, what do you think the government are going to do? What do you think the finance minister has to do? He has to bring them to that place where they are supposed to be, based on qualifications and the work that they are doing. So when you see police at a certain level, you see nurses at that level, you see teachers at that level, the scale shows us where we are as workers. You understand? So when the increases are supposed to take place, it is based on our economic growth and the GDP that boosts in GDP on a yearly basis. Because the government can't just get up and pay money, so, you know. And we feel to understand that if we're not in a situation where the economics are getting better, and the wages are being increased, we are asking the government to go into money where they don't have. So we need a government that is growing the economy. And this is what we have right here, right now. So when a man attack, I say, boy, teacher get 20% and the government ministers get 300%. It is because they don't understand the scale system and what it is that the ministers were supposed to be getting in the first place. And now we have a transparent situation where we can actually see where we are at the level that we're at, and how we are being paid for what we are doing. Never before in history. Man just come and just give what they feel like. I'm not giving nothing. And we have to accept that. You get me? No, we can hold the government responsible for what you are supposed to get. You can actually look on your scale and know. So you see, if the ministers raise their salary, you have to get a raise to Mr. Bishop. I don't know if you know that. If they raise the hierarchy of any of these organizations' salary, you have to get a raise, you know. If the minimum wages increase from 15%, sorry, $15,000 where it's at this point in time, you, Mr. Bishop, have to get a raise, you know, sir. Because the scale insists that every sector get a wage increase based on the movement of the scale. So when a man come and talk certain things, better don't talk off the top of your head. You have to understand. This is a qualification system that we have to work with. Seeing a man in a different sector doing different work requires to be paid different money. So me being where I am, or you being the teacher that you are, you can't expect for you to get minister pay. Them man, they work bigger than your one.
Bless you understand? But I like to help you with that explanation. I love how you are going.
Go ahead.
All right, blessed people. You know, actually, the word that we're looking for here in all of this is what you call a reclassification exercise. The public sector and the private sector was too different as far as salary earning is concerned. So let us create a scenario now. Me and you go to the same school, me and you have the same qualification. I get a job in the public sector. I do basically the same job. You get one in the public sector. I get one in the private sector. You get one in the public sector. And me can drive a bigger car than you. Me live in the upscale. Me I get more salary than you. But basically we have the same qualification doing basically the same class of job. And this situation was in our country for many years. Many administrations attempted but were afraid to do it because they realized that it would cost so much to bring them on par. Now, the whole exercise was done, and the teachers, some of the teachers got, like for instance, some of the principals. I know a principal, a certain level of a principal figure that went from 4 million to 14 million. That is about 200 and something % increase. And so the increases, we didn't hear of the public sector's increase. You know, them get them check and them go and do what them do. Them go and buy them car, or them go and finish their house, and them go and do what they do quietly and happily. But when it became a matter of having to be transparent and reveal what the ministers and the MPs and the permanent secretaries and others was getting, then here comes the public outcry. And that's why I have a recording. I have a recording that I can, if you want me to play it. It's about 5 minutes long of somebody analyzing the whole thing and showing that only because this JLP government was brave and prudent enough to take the bull by the horns and deal with it, then that is why it is happening now, and it's really something to be commended. Even the same Lisa Hanna came out in defense of it and explained why it was the right thing to do. And I must also remind people that when the suggestion was made for the leader of the opposition to forfeit, he decided that he was going to give a portion of his thing to his kind of charities, which I know it has not been done. So basically, we have what we call a reclassification exercise, where the public sector was brought up to level with the private sector. I don't even want to look at it like a razor pay. A razor pay is something you negotiate for. It was a reclassification, and people's salary
went to where it is supposed to be. And people need to people need to understand that and accept it. Because here what again to one of the things that Nigel Clark said too is that Jamaicans will not see the benefit of this until maybe 15 or 20 years. Because what has happened now is that you'll attract bright people to government, to public service, to government and to public service, because they will be paid a proper salary. So they will give proper service for the money that they are paid, and those people also will be accountable and be brought to bear if them do foolishness. You understand what I'm trying to say? So basically, it might look like, well, why we take out the money and let's give to ministers. No, it is the whole public sector, nurses, doctors, soldiers, police. Why do you think police now run up and down and look bribe now? Because their salary is up to a certain level that is much better than it was a couple of years ago. You understand? That is what happened. And if you don't allow me, I'll pay. It won't take me no time to find the tape. It'll take about 5 minutes if you don't want to listen to it and listen to that analysis of it. And then people will understand more what all of that was all about. Do I get permission to play it?
So clean green. So in other words,
what are the Agashi? Clean green. Somebody said they want to play something. Play.
Let me just one
Glenn.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, the brother where they mentioned him, Joseph Miller. This one know.
Play the record.
I'm not
going to say brother name. What I want to say brother name?
Joseph Patterson.
All right.
You find the King Green?
I come. 1 second.
Oh. Yeah, man. So basically what Clean Green show you is that the salaries were put to where they were supposed to be.
No, this is not it. Sorry, no, that's it. Go on talk.
Right.
So one of the things in the dark shade.
Yeah, genuine.
Under the whole salary structure, persons they also get a lot of what they call it non-taxable allowance. So them like the big amount, but when them retire, a 5,000 of them get as their pension.
Basic.
You get me?
Yeah.
So
what
happened now? You have better
more expound on that, you know. Because some people don't understand when you say it that way.
That's another thing where people don't understand either.
Clean Green, when it is said, or Jenny said, look while, you know, so Clean Green, Parfum, it would have been his basic salary.
Basic salary, right.
Basic salary.
And basic salary will be much smaller than the salary you end up getting now. Because now they've put everything to one and said, listen, this is what your total earnings is not X, no, X plus 5,000 or whatever it is. You know your salary is now a bigger figure. And your pension now, when you retire, is going to be calculated off a bigger figure.
Of a bigger figure, right.
All right, hear the recording I know. Well, go ahead, come.
Blessed, good afternoon, family.
Sorry.
All the while, I think being empathetic and understanding of where the people they lead are and being careful to bring the people with them, never leaving them behind.
Why is it
and being careful to bring the people with them, never leaving them behind on any particular political or policy prescription or act of government. And I think Jamaica has suffered from an absence of political courage. Our leaders too often do what is easy. Our leaders too often do what is easy and expedient. And they too often think in 5-year spans and how best to win the next election. Oftentimes, the interest of the country is shafted, in that process. And it's why so often in this segment I've had cause to commend the wholeness government. Because for whatever else you may be able to credibly fault them for, it cannot be said, I think, cannot be said fairly, that the administration has lacked political courage in moving Jamaica forward. In fact, some may even say they've shown too much courage, and some worry out loud whether they will pay a price for wanting too much for Jamaica too fast. Of course, those questions will be answered in time, as my granny would have said, not now go, as some might come. But as I said before in this segment, this has been a government of doing, of movement, and of heavy lifting, and I stand by that. Of course, much more can be done to improve how these things are being implemented and the communication around them, but I will always celebrate political courage when I see it. Jamaica needs more of it, not less. And one of the areas where we need to see more courage is the matter of the salary increases for politicians. So far, our elected leaders, for the most part, afraid of the backlash and thinking in the 5-year span, they've stayed far from commenting publicly on the issue. I know, for example, our colleague Siobhan Campbell sought to canvass their views, and only one MP, the member from East Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Holness, would go on the record. In many ways, it's been distressing for me to see Dr. Clark sort of left out on his own to carry the burden of public consternation and outrage. And sensing an opportunity and smelling political blood in the water, the opposition has sought to circle the wagon, fan the flames of public discontent, perhaps hoping that anger can help them at the polls. Privately, they will tell you they need the increase. Some will even go as far as telling you they deserve it. But so many of them have been spineless, opportunistic, and weak, and they won't say it publicly. They'll do what is easy and opt for the road of expediency. No courage. But yesterday in The Observer, in an article titled A Tale of Two Jamaicas, Lisa Hanna, the outgoing MP for Southeast St. Ann, perhaps taking courage from the fact that she will not face voters at the next election, she spoke a singular truth. You get what you pay for. I think Ms. Hannah presented a sober and reasoned analysis of the situation, which I commend to you this morning, listener. I commend it because it breaks with rank opportunism in favor of the plain truth, and I think that must be commended. Because while she empathizes, and rightly so, with the angst and outrage of many people, Ms. Hannah does not shy away from joining the government in making the difficult and courageous argument that we cannot continue to pay our politicians the way we have and honestly expect that there will be no correlation with the caliber and quality of those who seek political office. In a particularly sobering section of the article, Ms. Hannah reveals that after taxes and a deduction from her party, she earns $257,000 monthly. And conceivably...
Hold on, make that sink in. $257,000 monthly for an MP who's not a minister. 200, so that is about $60,000 a week.
Madness.
To run a constituency. Hello?
Remember that they get in constituency development and all kind of other money. So let's just continue.
Yeah.
The concept of development fund money is to spend on the constituency.
That's a different thing. We're talking about the salary.
Personal compensation.
So she will take her money. So once she will take her compensation, what she get as her salary, right? For the work what she do and do with it.
No, but people expect MPs to always have money to give them. People expect that they're being paid as ministers or as MP. And MP is not supposed to be and be paid less than a high school principal, for argument's sake.
You're supposed to scrape clean gain.
No.
Scraping money that.
That's important that we're responsible for the whole constituency. Anyhow, let's continue.
Perhaps taking courage from the fact that she will not face voters at the next election, she spoke a singular truth. You get what you pay for. I think Ms. Hannah presented a sober and reasoned analysis of the situation, which I commend to you this morning, listener. I commend it because it breaks with rank opportunism in favor of the plain truth, and I think that must be commended. Because while she empathizes, and rightly so, with the angst and outrage of many people, Ms. Hannah does not shy away from joining the government in making the difficult and courageous argument that we cannot continue to pay our politicians the way we have and honestly expect that there will be no correlation with the caliber and quality of those who seek political office. In a particularly sobering section of the article, Ms. Hannah reveals that after taxes and a deduction from her party, she earns $257,000 monthly. And conceivably, this is also the salary of her colleagues who do not hold ministerial rank. Now, surely this is an unacceptable salary when one considers all that we require MPs to be and to do. We almost require them to be all things to all people, especially those who must represent rural constituencies. Ms. Hannah draws on the example of Singapore, an example I too have brought to your attention, and makes the argument that in paying their elected officials handsomely, Singapore expects the highest standard of performance. She similarly points to Barbados, a country with less people than Portmore, that was paying their prime minister better than our own. And perhaps most persuasively, Ms. Hannah makes the point that salaries are determined not by GDP of a country or size of a company, but by the overall marketplace and the relative importance of the particular job in question. She then compares the salaries of our elected leaders to lawyers and bosses in the private sector. Not surprisingly, they do not compare favorably. They do not compare favorably at all. Ms. Hannah tells us that in real terms, the Prime Minister's salary represents 0.0061% of the overall salary budget. Ministers, 0.0804%. Permanent secretaries, 0.0482%. And MPs, 0.1518%. Overall, that's 0.29% of the overall salary budget of Jamaica. Yet we have used words like excessive, morally indefensible, greedy, shameful, and all the rest of it. That's been the easy route, the well-traveled route. It's a route we've traveled every time this matter has come up for consideration. And our leaders have shied away and chosen cowardice and expediency over principle and reason. And it's time that kind of politics is discarded. Now, I continue to advocate for an accountability framework for our leaders, which will ensure the Jamaican people get value for money. But let it not be said that this increase is beyond the pale. You must stop making that argument. And so this morning I want to tip my hat to Lisa Hannah for having the political courage, even if she's only emboldened by her pending exit, to speak the truth and to speak it fearlessly. I think Jamaica benefits from that courage. And we can only advance if more of our leaders are prepared to speak the truth. And Tana, listeners, I think Mark Golding and those who opt for expediency and cheap political tricks will be well served this morning to pay attention to Ms. Hannah's article. Because she gets it right. Kudos to her. That's what's on my mind.
All right, people, that is it. I've always kept that voice because sometimes people just, when I try to explain to them that the salary increase that the ministers and the MPs and the whoever in the public sector get were well due and well needed. And as the minister explained, he said, we are not going to see the full benefit of this now, but 10, 15, 20 years on the line, when we start realizing that we are attracting the bright people, we're attracting the people who will be losing to the public sector, to the private sector and to foreign. You stay here and take care of your country. So you understand? So it's a matter of looking at the broader picture and stop just look down my nose. You understand?
Very good point, Screen Green. Very good
yes,
point.
Sir.
And in such case, we must understand that the narrative of people wanting to be a part of politics because of the corrupt nature that was shown back in the days.
Thank you.
When these things happen, the way how they are being done, the narrative can change.
Thank you.
People will be stepping into politics now because they will be paid for their qualified
They'll be paid
work.
For their service and their value.
Right, their qualified work.
Thank you. And then they are also accountable for every penny that they earn.
Hold on, Glenn, now that I hear the tape, can you say something pertaining to the tape?
Now that I hear the tape, I feel like it is even more incentive for Andrew Wellness to just declare whatever assets or answer whatever questions that he was asking.
Wait, who you, man?
You ask me a question, you know what? You ask me a question.
So are you saying it was not? Hold on. Let me ask. Let me talk to you a bit. So are you saying they were not declared, sir? Are you saying that they were not declared?
No, man. From my understanding, it's just some questions that he felt like he was too prying or going too far in his personal business. And I am.
All right. So basically, what he's saying. Let me tell you what I say. You see? Let me tell you what I say. Basically, you're asking him to tell you why he bought half dozen. Huh? Hold on, Mikanta?
Yeah, man, go and clean green.
Yeah, basically what you're saying to him is that you need to tell me why you buy 6 underwear instead of 3.
Well,
or why you give the lady down the road and money because she look like she's hungry. Or why I decide to change my kind of tire coming like I'm gonna let the tire up and I'll change them. That's what you're asking the man to do.
And that is why I am saying, I am for policies. I want to see the policies. I want a Jamaica where they have to make. All right, I don't believe in even the Official Secrets Act. I don't believe that a government should be able to make any decision that is kept secret from the people.
I'm not gonna stop you. Every government in the world.
I know it, man. You have as that act.
You have to have it because there are certain things that cannot.
I read it because they're saying like there are some information.
Yes,
where
bro.
It's public knowledge.
Come on,
anarchy. So if there's a bomb, let's say in a town center, you can't let that be public and then everybody just have stampede and run and crush each
whatever.
You would want that to be private so that the government could probably inform the authorities so they can go.
No, you have sense, and they have the evidence.
So what I realize with some people, some Jamaicans have this very utopian ideal of Jamaica. What do you mean the government must abolish the Official Secrets Act? What do you mean by that?
No,
there are certain things that if the government were supposed to let it known to the public, it's a national security risk.
All right.
What do you mean?
The international standard is that the secret is...
I'm sure, Glenn, I'm sure you don't hold this ID for other jurisdictions. You don't hold it for other jurisdictions.
I know, and I'm telling you that internationally, the standard of the official secret is 20 years. Why did Andrew Holness tailor a bill and take it into Parliament in 2018 to extend that from 20 years to 70 years? I am always a child, Ian. Always a child. I approach every situation with a childlike humbleness, and that is what I use to cultivate my intelligence.
All right,
that's the point I'm saying. HR guru. You understand what I'm saying? Why would you want to extend that? Even though it was struck down, even though it was not voted or they did not pass the bill that he entered, I realized that it was COVID secrets that he wanted to keep.
You realize that? So who else realize that? I assume that. Realize and assume are two different things, you know.
That is clearly an assumption, Glenn. So I'm going to ask
realization.
What evidence do you have of that assumption?
I am saying, I inferred it based on the subsequent developments.
Like what?
Like the fact that I realized how much money they were getting from the WHO and so forth, and that they were being paid to administer these vaccines.
And where's your proof of that?
For these vaccines.
And where's your proof of that?
Glenn, careful.
Glenn, where's your proof of that?
So you're saying the government is part of a conspiracy type of development in
That's
the
what he's saying. That's why I'm telling you, be careful.
Its people.
Be careful, Glenn.
Take time with me. Nobody go there with the conspiracy. I think by now, most of the world should realize that COVID, as it was administered internationally, was a hoax.
So hold on. So when we get it, two times and in a real.
Don't tell me nothing.
I got it twice, sir.
Hold on.
Who died from it?
Glenn, left that COVID something there alone, yeah?
Give me a minute, please. I think we can all agree that the WHO gave all the countries that were a part of the WHO a mandate where they had to upgrade the definition that even a pathologist was used to state cause of death. And
Glenn. Control the subject of life, please. Yeah, man, I was talking, you see certain things, brother.
Me not really like go too so far upon it on the app, because you know them stay with the app. So we could keep it, yeah, we keep it on one level in a sense.
Keep it on for shores now, please. Now
yeah,
they
we keep
blast
it on.
COVID business.
Yeah, man, out of respect, you know. So, yeah, man. So me understand. All right. So listen, everybody up on the platform. This is not a PMP. This is Joseph Party. So just answer it, isn't
it? No, man.
No, Glenn.
Advocate for intelligence.
Glenn.
Not partisan type of discussion. And I love the fact that we could have day here. See people, me learn a lot. Me hear a lot. There are a lot of
reasoning good, man.
Yeah, man. Me love it.
Yeah, man. But you may say still. Let me tell you what I go on with the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. I might not understand. Saying, boss, declaring assets, you know, his assets were declared. You understand? And on a holistic level, what they are trying to do is try to open a can of worms as to state how is it that Mr. Holness is coming from such a poor background and is now at the level that he's at. They want the Mr. Holness to declare in secrets as it relates to how he made his money. You understand? Which on a thing there, on a government level, he shouldn't have to be made to do this. And this is why I believe that he has asked for the judicial review. Because if you the IC would have gone as far as to get a forensic analyst to come and review the declaration to see if there was some form of hanky-panky with what he has declared. And that forensic analyst would have stated that him not see nothing wrong with what going with the man declaration. Saying, but you not satisfied. What do
after 3 years?
The satisfaction that you look for is what? That's what we're asking. Remember, you know, you have TAJ out here and you have FID that they could have gone through it to make the checks and created the balances. It then bypass them and go overseas. Saying, when that the financial analyst they don't do him and calculate how much money and say yo everything good. Yeah, come back pan with shores now. To open my next can of worms by saying that you need the FID and the TAJ to know
everybody
reinvestigate something that has already been investigated. What are you looking for? What you want? What you really want? What you want?
I think Quentin wants to say something.
May I say good evening, everybody. What go on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talk about extension from 20 years to 70 years, but he's forgetting one thing, that a lot of government officials who have been in certain capacities, executive level, would have had some information that cannot be disclosed to the public, no matter even when you left government, none time. That have to remain a secret.
For example, PJ, Bruce Golding.
Exactly. So there are certain things that prime ministers and opposition leaders would be affid with.
Yes.
That have to die with them. No matter what, you can't come out and contact certain things. And then you work in a government accounting system, same way when you work in a government finance, you can't contact about government finance and where they have a
never wealthy.
That's never so you extend it to say, all right then, up to the age of retirement or how long these persons will live after they would have served in these capacities, they are not able to still not disclose this information or that type of
but I don't think, no man, the provision in the act was not for that. It was for the information.
But again,
it will always be
like up live, guys, like up live.
What I'm trying to say, these are some of the things as to why an extension would be warranted, or an extension would be asked to be given in terms of the Official Secrets Act. Not saying and then as you rightfully said, it's not everything we would know. Me rather not know certain things, to be honest. Because if me know, probably then kill me. And if you know, probably then kill you too. So me just don't want to know.
No man, but
the less I know, the better for me.
But I'm saying
me don't
the
want it by
context
my
of the act,
conscience.
it doesn't have to be that you make it public. But if somebody like
No, but
if
Glenn,
somebody
me and
like
you know
me,
we live
then
in
you're
a
probably just
society.
inquisitive,
If one
wants
somebody
to
know you're
know.
come pinch you tell this one is you know say do, but not
That's
tell
spread
nobody.
out.
And I saw it, you know say
And it
do,
has
not
spread,
tell nobody.
spread
And
on a
by the
different
time you
level.
reach out a road and out a gate, a whole community know what you just say.
The argument changed too.
And I hit that, and it could become one big Chinese telephone.
Add and subtract.
And that is where conspiracies and that is where propaganda comes into play. Because
Can't tell you,
people don't understand.
I work
And
for
then
the
when you come and
government.
you tell people everything and tell them all sort of things, a lot of persons don't have the perspicacity to understand what you're saying. So you don't
I
really
can't say
want
this
to
to
burden
you.
them with that information.
I can't say
And
this to you. I
everything
work
should
for
be
the
made public.
government. I work for the
And that's
government, and
that.
there are certain
Overall,
things
as somebody
I
rightfully
can't.
say, matters of national security concerns also. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, so I work for the government, and there are certain things I can't say.
Exactly.
Because if
Same here.
I come out and say certain things, I can tell you this. The only way I can comment on it, I comment on what is out there in the public.
Out there in the
already.
public. Same way for me.
Right?
Yeah,
I
me
work at a
too.
place I work at a place when me see information leak out. My friend, I mean, someone in the office really leak out this. It can destabilize our industry.
Accounts.
Hold on, guys. Somebody just say evil. Just say evil. No, that's
live on.
fresh.
Yeah, live on. Philippines. So I go on.
I can't disclose certain things. I had to sign a secrecy act, and of course you have to abide by it. You can't just come
All of
out
us
and
as government workers have to sign.
Yeah, all of us has to sign a secrecy act and a out of office and all of that. But anyway, I went on his page a while ago, and I was listening to the video, and I couldn't listen to everything. But you said you don't have billions of dollars to buy stocks. You don't. You don't listen. You know a unit of a stock. How much a unit of a stock can start out as when you have a public offering? It can be 30 cents. It can be $1 per unit.
But every institution
can be
is going to require that you buy a certain amount of it for them to open an account.
But you're not going to buy $1 billion worth of stock.
At JMMB, all you need is $25,000.
I bought Wigan shares. People, when it came to Wigan, they could have gone with at least $1,000.
Yeah,
right? I bought Wigan shares.
Yeah, and I think the highway is I think the highway is cheap. The highway is cheap.
Remember, I know they're
selling. The highway is about 1,000. I think it's for 10,000.
Cheap, man.
Highway.
Yeah,
all
man,
right,
cheap.
guys.
Cheap.
I just want to make this clear. Remember,
all right, one thing. Hold on. Let me say something before. Yep. All right. You see, even working for electoral office, like election day worker, it's a once election call, and if you sign up to work as an election day worker, you can't put on a green shirt or a red shirt.
No.
You have to be neutral. You have to quit. You have to be neutral.
And that is why you vote before.
So some things, so some things have to be kept secret. And the reason me think Andrew will make that move is because of certain things what the up. Yeah.
Glenn Bishop, let me say something to you, Glenn. Let me say something to you, Glenn. When listen to your talking, you look like you sound like you're a man who has some level of intelligence. See? Stop trying to play the thing along a certain route and understand it as it is and make your decision. Stand up to what you believe in as it is. The problem we have with a lot of people is that they try to change what is happening. They try to give it a different perception. See, make it look like and nothing good now go on, bro. See, good things are happening. Improvements are taking place. Infrastructural development are on the up and up. See, Jamaica is moving forward. We're not stagnant and we're not move backward. Jamaica has climbed the ladder as one of the stalwarts in the Caribbean. See, and it is what it is. Don't try to change the whole narrative and paint a different picture for yourself and others. For say, yo, work with this side because that side they are going to do better than that side that we are doing it right now. For the years that they have been here, we have seen it being done properly under this administration, bro. We don't need to change the narrative. Seeing in order to make decisions. I try to paint a different picture to make a decision. Seeing argue along the line that it is. Talk about the good policies that are before us. Seeing talk about the good things that are happening for Jamaica. Talk about the fact that your salary raised, old boy. Seeing something never happened for one period of time where the other government didn't play. Seeing talk about the fact that your life is a little bit better than it was 10 years ago. Seeing and move forward knowing that and make a decision based on whatever feelings you have same way. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Look what I say now, Dark. Like, me understand what you say. Me totally agree. Almost totally agree with what you say. Me figure say you come on a little later. But my thing is that we talk about things that we want to see in law. We feel like every time, like look how you go. Every time election I come up, the government have to go up on the platform, or the party them, have to go up on the platform and talk things that people want. From 2017, me want some changes in even the Insurance Act. But me figure say you are the big wigs them have insurance in charge of insurance. None of that not change. As it is right now, even when you comprehensively insure your car and you have an accident, you have a write-off and them to pay you. Them will pay you 80% of the cost of the vehicle. While in other territories, them will pay you 110% of the cost of your vehicle. If you pay comprehensive insurance for your vehicle and a new vehicle for 10 years, you realize the cost of a vehicle you pay the insurance company. Something like
so
that.
So what, you don't want to pay insurance?
You said that the Insurance Act needs to be improved, which we can't argue along. We can't argue when it comes to that. No, you understand? Improvement is needed in actually every aspect of life for you think you can think of.
That's one of the reasons why enough people are
also clean up.
No, but there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that are up for discussion, bro. See, and you can't mix. I tell him on them all the time. You cannot mix what happens overseas with what happens in Jamaica. Are totally different situations. It is cheaper to insure a vehicle here in Jamaica than it is in America. Cheaper on different basis. See, when a man can go into an insurance company and pay insurance one time.
Over there, a monthly. We need to come over here and learn something.
Weekly or monthly, you have to pay in America. Yeah, pay off one traffic ticket in America.
A traffic ticket in America is much dearer than a traffic ticket in Jamaica.
But we're not doing a comparison at this time.
$300 for a simple traffic ticket. You hear that?
Yeah, I don't think we can do a one-to-one comparison because remember, say income are different. But all right, that's even something else.
All right. What do you mean income?
And I'm still conducting my experiment and I'm still doing.
I don't want you to touch income because where we're coming from as government workers, let me tell you this. They may not want to come out and talk. Teachers now are getting better pay than they were before. Principals, nurses. When I look at where we were coming from and where we are now and where we're heading, look here, thank God we are there. And we must be grateful because some of we ungrateful. Some of the teachers, some of them come to school and they don't do shit and want a big salary and to be buy a big car to say them a teacher. They not do shit. So the nurses them see me, they not have compassion, then just go in a field because they can go foreign and go to a nurse. They're going in it for the enthusiasm. They're going in it because they want to run off go foreign. But I'm glad Trump is sending them back out here. You understand?
Teachers some of the wickedest inbred in a society.
I digress. We're coming from a far place. Yes, the government is not perfect. More can be done, but we are steps and policies are being put in place to make it happen. Yes, we don't know, just as though we don't know the plans of the government in terms of them touching the Insurance Act. We don't know if that's a part of their agenda and where they are in that agenda. So these are things that takes time. We have to focus on one thing first. Just as the Prime Minister would have said,
we had to focus on growing the economy first in order to make meaningful change. Now
Thank you.
that the economy has grown and it's growing and making strides significantly, now we're better able to serve and to give back to the people of the country. So certain things have to be done first. Yeah, before you build house, don't you have to do is foundation, and then you build a block, you put in your column, and if you have a deck, you put your deck. If you have a roof, you put your board in, and you do your cast in, and your lintel. And you
I remember meanwhile you build the foundation, the people is still hungry, you know.
Exactly. So you still have to continue on what you have. You have to build from something. If there was no foundation to go, you can't just take up money and give people some. No, economy would crumble. So you have to take it from this standpoint. Rome was not built in a day.
I want to ask Glenn a question, right? Compare 2025 Jamaica to 2015 Jamaica. Are we seeing improvements or we are seeing otherwise?
Significant improvement.
Significant.
Yeah, man.
We don't need no more argument then, bro.
We don't need to argue with it no more. We don't need to argue with it no more.
We never there. We did there raise some points.
We don't need to say that more.
No, you're raising points, and we're
the fact that the matter still requires discussion.
It's the policies that are put in place now that this administration has put in place has never been even think about under the previous administration.
That's what they didn't think about that.
22 for over 22 and a half years, they never think about that. Things that this administration has done. No.
Leave on.
Benefits.
Leave on.
Benefits, yeah.
You go too far, man. They will never do that.
But well, Anatino, I believe the previous administration, right? They weren't thinking past their nose because they could not see the future. And that is what the Prime Minister have over them. He's thinking about the future. And then they not think about that. They not think about next week and next year.
Next week. And a brown envelope.
2030.
This administration and previous administration. Remember, you know, without vision, the people perish. Marcus Garvey said it best. You have to have vision. And that is what is happening now. We have vision. We have a visionary leader. When I look at Linstead, for example, when these people were building the town of Linstead, I can tell you they need not think about a car to drive through Linstead. I'm not thinking about horse or donkey cart. Because the roads that are so narrow in the town, you would think, say, Turati, them are people and it. They need not think as far as their nose. So you have to have vision to see where you want to go in the future. That we have now. We see changes are being made. Look at, we have insurance as a country. Say if any natural disaster should occur, based on the magnitude of that disaster, we are able to now have a fund in place to cushion our economy so that whoever is affected we're able to benefit from that fund. Have we never seen that before? We never have that. And we have that now. And we're making strides to do better. See, government has said they must sell them shares. The government, then they have to sell the shares, you know. Then could have call a private company and say, here what? You're selling them share, yeah, the people that work there. But they are making it public because what? It's a part of their initiative of spreading the wealth across Jamaica so that the people on the ground can benefit from such initiative. Remember, people then were used to all the shares then were selling at JPS. Who have them? The big wig them have them. We not have none. None of we not have none. God bless the minute that have it. But now we're seeing where the government is incorporating the people in building the wealth and building wealth and generational wealth. Not just for today, but for tomorrow. You understand? So we have to really think, be cognizant of what is going on. And not just jump to conclusions like it's a trampoline business. It's because it's not. So we have to really think, look down and see where we're coming from to where we're going, where we want to go. Again, some of us have the understanding, some of us have the knowledge, the wit. We should share that knowledge, share that understanding in better in Jamaica. Because at the end of the day, it's a free country. And a free fit them have benefit.
Whenever the lies emerge, what we should do?
Well, on the
Mark man. Well, Mark Nation.
Yo, Mark.
Yo.
Yo, man, we not talk.
You see this?
Mute
Now
him,
watch
mute
this.
him.
Sorry about that weird thing. All right.
Brother, your name Glenn? You have children?
You analyze. What did I say?
You have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, what you do? You put party over your children?
Which party? Which party you mean?
What are you? You're undecided, or you're what party do you
EJ.
Yeah, let's know. Conduct experiment.
Tino.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'm on PMP, man. JLP, Joseph.
No. In Jamaica, this time of days, you have to be one or the other.
Why?
No, man. You don't have to be one or the other. No, you don't have to be one or the other. Everybody can be neutral. We can be neutral.
No, nobody in Jamaica is neutral.
Tino. Stop with that.
This is what I believe. I believe that we should take a more intelligent position in politics. I believe that we should, like every election cycle, the government should have to listen what we want as a people. You see, even if the Republic push that they're pushing for now, I have some issues about that as well. Because in a Republic, it's the people they are supposed to listen to in order to make every decision, And that is what I am advocating for now. That when the election cycle coming up, if it's the road the people want, if the people must say road. And they must know, say, as some road for a bill by election to call, or else them not go get the votes. I don't believe that we should be partisan. And when we just pick a party, anything with the party do, whether we agree or like it or not, because of the party, we can't say anything. I believe we should be making our voices heard. I believe that the politicians should be forced to listen to what the people are saying they want and provide it. And when they fulfill it, then we vote again.
All right, Glenn, let me say something about that. Let me say something to Glenn about that. All right. You see, based on what you said a while ago, that would be wrong. You see, if you go say the people them go make the decision for tell the politicians say, all right, election will come, so we want a road. That was wrong. You put in the government, whatever government you choose, you put him in. You see, if the road, the water, the light, the infrastructure around your community no provided within the 4 year or 3 year or 5 year, you vote them out, put in a different government. You understand? But if that government coming, that government you put in, deliver road, water, light, infrastructure, you keep that government going. You understand? So years to come, the government go do. When it didn't do road and infrastructure this term, the next term we don't put him in back because he deliver that where you need. The next term now we go deliver policies. So if policies were put in, it may not affect your pocket or your lifestyle within 2 years, but you see the next 3, 4, 5 years, it go benefit you. You understand? So
go ahead.
I have some issues just like Glenn. But I'm not gonna bring them up at this time when I want this government to win this election.
Hold on, Churchill. Hold on. Stick up in. Glenn, you made a point, and we have to be honest with ourselves when we speak. Do you believe, Glenn, that if the government should wait on the people to decide what they should do, anything would be done?
All right. No, don't get me wrong, Welty.
Hold on, let me just. It's a yes or no question.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, hold on,
The answer would be no. The government
right. Let me further my point.
That's what you're saying.
Let me further my point. My point is, most of the times, or majority of the times, we are our own disappointment, and we cause our own destruction, and we cause ourselves to be held back. Why? because when simple as this, when government put in place facilities that are geared towards benefiting us, we are the same one who mash up the facilities them. Not saying that that's the case, or even though it is, but what I'm simply saying is that even when you consult a set, we're going to be consulting, because at the end of the day, sometimes we can't even agree with ourselves and agree with simple things. So you have to move on. You consult a few, you're not going to consult all because it's not possible. It's simple, not possible. So you're going to consult a few, listen, take these decisions to the different channels and see what it is, and you flesh it out. These processes is not over a 1 year period or a 2 year period. It takes time. In government, everything takes time. When I say time, Glenn, I mean time. If you spend $1,000, it have to go through 6 different signatories. Just imagine a whole consultation of a constitutional reform, a whole for the development of a Spark program, REACH program. How many consultations it would have taken for them to get to the initial stage where they can launch? Just think about it. You speak as if you work in government, so you maybe are afraid with the government procedures and how it works. It's not just talking, because it takes a lot of work and grunt work at that.
Whitley, let me say something. Just look at even heart, where you have to have fight for tell young people for go there. Simple as that. And you want the people to tell the government we want road to fix. Man, wake up here, man.
And not only that, but even
it's hard to get the youth them off I can't have to go find work much less.
Can you imagine you come on one community? You come on one community and have 4 different roads in a community. And then say, one side I say fix the one here first. One side I say fix the one here first. It's a confusion.
You know. Let me just speak on your heart issue. I know
Listen
a lot of young people apply to art.
Listen me, let me mute. Come in, I want to hear you no more. You get a 9 to me.
Tino, let's go easy, man.
Get a 9 to me, brother.
No, man, let's go easy, man.
Then for love Jamaica.
Brother, Tino.
For love Jamaica.
Tino.
Let us be
Remember,
let us be respectful, Tino. Even though sometimes you may not want to hear, but listen, and then you speak. All right, if you don't want to say nothing, but let us be respectful. We are big people, let us act like it, and we are laborers. We have to set example. We can't do like what there is people then do. They act like us. So let us not behave like them, please.
So true.
Just live up to the standard of the Jamaica Labour Party as the laborers that we are. Come on now.
Yeah, I was saying some things. There are issues that I have that I would like to raise, but I'm not gonna do it at this time because it will come out like say I'm against my party and I'm against this government. I'm not against this government because I said this is the best government. And when Glenn raised some issues, he come in like say he's against this government going forward. When him of himself acknowledge that this government is the best government. He acknowledged that he has seen improvement over the last 10 years, better than what the PNP has done in its history. So when me come now and try to frame one argument, to make it look like say me argue against this government going forward, it doesn't come out well. Yeah? So you have to be careful how you put forward your argument. Because the way you argue, the point you argue, when you argue with the coming like say, you want to bring down this government because you're not satisfied with where this government is going. When in your heart, you know say this government is the better one.
But
yeah, man. Well said, Churchill. Like up alive, guys. Like up alive.
Churchill, when anyone know it or acknowledge it, they can't deny it. So that I full fuck the story. Whether they want to acknowledge it or yes or no, they can't deny it. You understand? Again, I'm not gonna speak as if my government is perfect. It is not. Yes, they're making some improvements. Yes, them have some faults but I don't like personally either. But at the end of the day, I look beyond my personal desires and needs. I look beyond myself because it's not about me wealthy per se. but it's about the betterment of Jamaica.
Jamaica first.
I am a Jamaica first. I'm a true patriot. I love my country so much. Gotten several opportunities to go abroad to work, and I turned it down simply because I love Jamaica land. We love. You understand?
And
So
like you said, well, when you build the house and you set the foundation, we're not gonna get thing one time.
You're not gonna get it right. Sometimes you even hire some workman to do some work and then do some shitty work. See if you member of parliament, them you hire them to come do some work and then do shit. And then do some shitty work. And you get one man to pull up one belt in and one contract for give him and then mess up a contract and the people then start complaining where you ask if you build a house. So it's a process. And nobody's perfect, guys. But what I'm trying to say now is we are moving forward. We are moving in a direction where I'm not thinking about myself. I think about my little sister. We're out the door right now. I run up and down. What kind of future is there for her? What the opportunities that will be there for her? I mean, not about myself. I get all the opportunity a long time. But her and the kids coming after her and the little baby we're born today are born last night. What kind of future is there for them? What kind of foundation are born next year or this year or female them we are born this year? Whatever it is, you're thinking about them. Remember, the future. We are getting older. We're getting older. We don't know the day or the hour we are drop down and dead.
Out of all my adult life.
You understand? Future thinking.
The nitpicking now work, brethren. When we are nitpicking on things,
go on, Churchill.
When we are nitpick on little things, like we want the thing to be perfect, it can never be perfect. This is not utopia. But we have to work with things that are working well. Maybe the next year or the year after, you may get something more that you're looking into personally, yeah. But we're not gonna get everything personally. A Project Jamaica, I say right now, you know.
Right,
Project Jamaica are going, you know. Project Jamaica are going. Let us not nitpick.
Same way, Churchill. And even if we get if 10 somebody find the government perfect, another 50 are find they're not perfect. So you really and truly cannot please people. Remember, see him, Jesus did come here and it was a perfect being. And we see him one kill him and crucify him. Not saying us, but you'll understand. We see him one kill him and crucify him and chastise him. Who are we? We are nothing really and truly, and we're going to always be imperfect. We're going to always find fault. Just as though when the government build one highway, one man will come and say, my livelihood mash up. Because I have the tourists use to pass and whatever. You improve. See, down at St. Thomas, somebody came out and they said it when the highways was being built. Nobody's coming here anymore, so my livelihood gone. You improve and you move on and you come and you say, all right, government, I'm going to build highway right so. What can I do to improve? I say, all right, I'm going to try to set up one business, one different business. Or further my business somewhere else. But we know we always want in the same situation and we want government to always accommodate us. When in truth and in fact, sometimes it's not even feasible. It cannot happen because change is always constant. You can't be the same place today and expect to be there tomorrow and the next 10 years. No, it doesn't work like that, guys. We have to be evolving, and constant evolution is important.
I was a teenager in the 70s. I'm telling you my age now. And from the 70s till now, brethren, it's a huge difference. Huge difference. Jamaica has grown over the last 10 years. Believe me, people, the kind of things that are going on now, we would never dream of seeing them things. In fact, under the PNP government, they have set back Jamaica over 30, maybe 40 years. The trajectory has changed significantly. Let us be thankful for what we're getting today and don't nitpick, because we have to improve, like the Prime Minister said, we have to grow the economy to realize more things. If we don't grow the economy, we can't get salary increases. We can't look after the police and the nurses and the doctors. I grow the economy now, I invite investors to come in where we can earn more for the country to improve the lives of especially those who are less fortunate. And sometimes we are selfish too because we're doing good personally, but we still have to look out for our neighbor who is not doing so well. Yeah?
Come on, people. Let's be real. This is not utopia. And we're just a developing country. We cannot deliver everything right now. Some of the things on the books, we know so them not proper. But we just have to take time, work with the system until we get to a point where we can address a lot of things. Yeah? We can't address everything in one fell swoop.
But I don't when you look at it in a Churchill, it's ironic where these same people come and complain, and they're the ones that have been building a house over 15 years. And then they have foundation and then they move.
Right?
Yeah, they have foundation and then move, and you're also there for 15 years, and you're still there. And then you complain with the government who is right here. They're making steady progress, and you're now moving at yourself, and you complain. The hypocrisy, the irony, it is blatant, you know. Let me tell you, man. We just, again, the point is, we can't see past the nose, and that is the problem. We're not seeing the bigger picture. And it is very difficult for the Prime Minister to sell you an idea that are a future that you yourself the people are buying into. You're thinking about today and tomorrow, and that's it.
All right. You see what I see this administration do over the last 10 years. You see, if when we left school 20 something years ago, if them the opportunity was available for young people in that time, our country would. That's if you hear people say the PNP hold back Jamaica 30 years, we believe in that. Because they never do nothing. They not put in nothing at all for young people to develop your skills for work. They not no work, nothing at all. Never did it for young people. Nothing. Never did it for young people.
But here's the thing, Linvan. It's the way them think, them think different. I'm gonna show you how. Andrew Hun is coming and say, mago raise the tax threshold. What does that do? It leaves more money in our pocket to spend.
In your pocket.
Right?
Exactly.
And when you spend that money, it improves the economy. Because you go there now and you spend money, you have to buy things, you have to, you save a little money if you can build your house and them kind of things there.
Because you can buy 3 pound of flour instead of 2 pounds.
And what
because you see more money.
What it does,
so more money in our budget.
The economy expands. And by the economy expands, businesses are making more money. And because they're making more money, they can invest more. And by investing more businesses are come on stream. And by more business come on stream, more people get employed. And by more people getting employed, the tax base is broadened.
All right. Even what the government did.
Hold on, let me finish. The government collect more taxes, so the government can raise more money now to fix the roads. See?
Exactly.
One thing have to come first. Right. If the government don't grow the economy, they won't raise the money. Otherwise, they have to go borrow the money when they can't pay. Because they not collect enough money to pay back the money where they might borrow. So I'm saying it's the train of thought of how them think for years. That's what they were doing. Tax. Creating a bigger burden on the people. And that stifles the economy. This government don't raise no tax. In fact, it cut some of the taxes and give people a little breather room so they can keep a little more money to spend. And that's how it gradually, eventually build up to the economy that we have now, where people want to return to Jamaica to invest. Yeah? So it's just the way they think. Their whole philosophy of managing the economy is quite different. And that's why, and them not learn, because they had to go at it 3 different times since independence. And they have not shown to learn, or they have not embraced what is necessary to grow the economy. So you can't trust them.
Just by the way they think, you cannot trust them.
Because they only think about the tax you. They don't have no other way of grow the economy. No other way. Alright. Even with what this administration has done for small business, it raised the threshold from where it was to 15 million. So you invite more people to start, some of our open one business.
10 million. Let's make it real. Let's make it the truth. It's 10 million, not 15 million. Yeah.
Yeah. And in raising to that, we're in more people can say, some open one business and employ 2 somebody or 3 somebody. So you have more people now start open business, more people start work because they don't have that heavy business tax burden on them show that they only pay the tax that then take from the staff and pay for them percentage for it and pay all that to the government so they can get the NHT benefits and whatever benefits. So those things are a big difference to previous administration.
Guys.
Yeah, man, big up, man. So Glenn,
I just want to chip in here and share a thought here. Early on, I was tuning into the live, and I hear when Glenn was talking, and a question was posed to him, and he was saying that he was very displeased with the government selling our land and our beachfront. But what Glenn failed to realize that one of Jamaica's mainstay as an economic pillar is tourism. It is one of our largest employer of labor, and it also generates $4.5 billion for this country. And it is something that we have as a natural beauty. This is our beachfront and our prime real estate land. It is our gold. It is our oil. It is our natural resources. And so therefore, we develop a product from these natural resources so we can market them to the world. So those who are in the international market with capital, our access to capital will become attractive to what we have to offer. So when the government sell these lands, these people come in and put in a $300-500 million investment in our country and create jobs for our people. Without we put our people to work, our people cannot create wealth for themselves, are not really able to own a house for themselves, or send their children to school, or own a motor vehicle. So these things are very important. So when we are going to just blatantly criticize something that the government do, the government basically don't have any choice because we don't have no oil in the sun where we can go mine. We have to sell our beachfront and our real estate to the international players, right? So when we're making criticism, we must be very careful and also be mindful of what we are saying. This is a product that we are showcasing to the world, right? Yeah, that's what I want to say for now.
Yeah, man. So Glenn, you have anything you want to say, Glenn?
I understand totally what he's saying. The tourism model, though, is not something that I believe that we should put all our eggs in that basket. The truth is, I believe in empowering our human capital. So I think we should be spending more on educating our populace in engineering and science and technology. Right now, as it is, they're even saying that they teach in STEM in some schools, but they're only teaching one class of maybe 8, 10 20 for, in some cases, students, what they should learn, what all of India is teaching in their entire education system. So again, I cannot bash the tourism model. So I totally understand what that person was saying. Sorry, I can't say a name. I was doing something. So I'm saying, I understand, but I don't think we should be selling out 70% or making 70% of our coastlines available for sale, relying on the tourism model like this. I think other areas is how we're supposed to invest.
No, but look at it this way, Glenn. I am living here in Portland, and we have miles upon miles of beachfront land in East and West Portland, throwing down idle from we get independent from England, and no investment, none whatsoever. How does these beachfront benefit the Jamaican people?
Totally.
I am living very close to the sea, and sometimes for all 5 years, I never see.
Yeah, man, I'm saying, I know I am familiar with Portland. I went to Case. So I know what you're saying. That's a very valid point, and Portland is one of those areas where more of the beachfront land should be used in this capacity.
Yeah.
However, I can make reference to Montego Bay, where right now you have to walk, let me just say walk quite a distance to except from Harmony, which again, I must say kudos to the JLP administration. It is an improvement from what was there before, being called Dump Up Beach, right?
Yeah.
But then, as I say now, you look right beside where the Harmony is, you realize that they sell that to some tourism industry interest. I see them using bulldozers now to reclaim some more of the land there. I can see that it's maybe a boardwalk or something like that they're trying to build over there. Again, I can't say that is not a good development. However, I'm thinking of the Montego Bay, where we have to drive for maybe 10, 20 minutes in order to see the coastline.
Well, again, Glenn. Go on.
I'm gonna say something about the boardwalk. The boardwalk where they talked about a while ago, it will be adjoined to Harmony Beach.
Yeah, man, I realize that, man. And again, I cannot say that's not a positive development.
You know, Glenn, I'm saying that I am in agreement with you that our people need to have access. We need to have designated areas where that are leave for the local. So whenever time the local need to go to the beach, we must have access to lovely beaches as well. And this administration is doing that. Here in Portland, 2 of our best beaches was leased out, right? And the local will have to pay to go on those beaches. This administration now has terminated those leases from those individuals and are going to develop those beaches now into to international standard, where the local people put in all the amenities that you think a beach should have. So the local can access that beach for free here in Portland. But at the same time, the Flynn them own hundreds and hundreds of acres of beachfront land in Portland. And they are not doing nothing with those land. So if we can get investors to come in and see if we can cut a deal with these people and buy some of these beachfront land and put in hotel industry, hotel rooms, and can put some of our bright, young, vibrant Portlanders to work, and that we could intertwine that with our agriculture here that we have in Portland. Not as great as some parish, but if the market is there, we would increase our production. So these are the type of conversation we should be having instead of want to knock the nail all the way to the counter with one strike. That is practical. We have to gradually, as a developing country, do things little by little, and work with what we have to our advantage. Okay, somebody else can pick it up from here.
Yeah, man, Glenn, I can't say what you have to say. I don't know. The floor is yours.
Right. It has been an education talking to this panel. As I said, I'm the person that normally take notes. So I've taken a lot of notes. I think I have learned a lot. I got clarification on a lot of points. So I must say thanks to everybody that gave input. I might sign off now because I have some things to do. But thanks much.
Yeah, big up yourself, Glenn, man.
Okay,
Glenn. Ready
Glenn.
again, man.
You're welcome, and you come again.
Yeah, man.
I'm carrying people here.
I remember, Glenn, Rome didn't build in one year. And God didn't
See,
take
the man with the
to
tea,
build the world.
Tell you already, you know, man. You know, say a lot of things, you know, but you can't say nothing for hurt me because I build myself one way away. I'm willing to take any amount of bashing.
Glenn just add some clarity in one.
Glenn, just before you leave, I just want to say something to you. You seem to sound like you're a young man, and it seems also to you sound like you're also educated. But what you need to do, Glenn, just do some more reading. Dig up the archives them and do some more reading. Do some more research. And all the answer that you're seeking is there. Okay?
Well said,
Yeah,
Winston.
yeah.
Do that, Glenn.
Yeah, man.
That's what we want from you. Some
man, that's true, man. Yeah. You know, if really, you take what we say and then you go do your own research, and then we get a better understanding of which administration is better for this country.
No, man, me answer that from very early, man. Me answer that very early. Yeah, Linda, I know where they delivered, but my answer that I would tell anybody that PMP is not an alternative. Yeah. I am making a point that we should advance to the JLP.
Glenn.
All right, Glenn.
Are you my brethren?
Yes, Tino.
No, Dean, I'm a brethren.
Hold on,
You sound like Dean.
Linval. Mute to my Linval.
Yeah.
You sound like Dean, one of my brethren.
Okay.
Can't reason good. But don't get me wrong, still way, can't reason good though. But I should want some more clarity from you. Because I'm an aggressive man, you know. I like clarity. I like, you know, beat you on the bush. You just come straight forward with the answer then.
Okay. My thing, as me say, Tino, may I try get Jamaica to move away from a partisan type of politics and a type of politics where we hold the leaders to account, do some things where we, the people, know say would be best for the country.
You're good.
You
know, another thing again, Glenn.
Project
Glenn,
from you.
You know, another thing again, what I would admonish you to do as a young man who sounds to be intelligent and educated, I would like you to do some research and garner some information and come back on these live and encourage your fellow Jamaican that, hey, listen, you see, if you own a piece of land where you have a title for or a house, it is an asset. It is a means to gain wealth.
Me see some of you gone. Because me just tell you, say, me write down evil, what's your name again? Me never write her name. But me write down the allocation of 5 houses under the social housing program to each MP. And me plan to build a video about that. Jamaica people say I ask evil them PMP, MP, what are going with the allocation of 5 houses where them should apply for give poor people.
Yeah, because the when you own these assets, is a mean to gain wealth from it. You can use this house and this piece of land to gain wealth. You can take out a mortgage on these houses or the land, and you can start a business, right? And then you take gradually you take and pay off your loan, and you increase your income. These are what other people do in other jurisdictions. You understand? And we are not doing that. If Jamaica would have just broke out of them bellyful mentality, and even when we go to United States and Canada, we do not learn. We don't learn. We don't learn. One of the things that drive growth in the United States is their consumption, right? People will take out a loan just to go up on vacation, take out a loan to buy a car, take out a loan to renovate their house. So it
rent out, enough people just sit down and I say government now do this and government now do that for them. Government no need to it already do it for you. And just you need to get up now and move forward. So what the government do? So what the government do now is me say this administration Andrew Wallace, the team my man Bill right now have a running country is a great set of people. And I love